Good evening, and welcome to Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. If you would please kindly take your seats, the show will begin momentarily.
The hard turn.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you guys don't know what you just walked into. I'm Nick Brammer. I'm your host. This is Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. Every Friday night, we're here to entertain you. I was
Story
just
time,
telling
dude.
some stories,
Welcome to story
and
time with Nick Brammer.
it was good stuff. So, let's go ahead and get our intros out of the way as usual so we can get into some good shit this week. We got a lot of news. We got a really interesting discussion this week. Tell your friends. Get us some fucking viewers, man. Come on.
It's almost like we prepared for this shit this week.
I know, right?
Yeah, wow.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
We might never do it again.
Never prepare again. We're just going to fucking wing everything. So, coming to us from Legless, Virginia. Josh, where you at?
Well, you just told them. It's a little tiny town nobody's ever heard of. It's more of an unincorporated community called Legless. But yeah, there's like 19 people and 3 horses, and 2 of the horses are dating the same cousin. So, but you mean where they can find me on the internet? Yeah, you can catch me every Friday here with you cats, Friday night on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. You can also catch me on the All Queued Up podcast. We had a new episode published today where we covered seasons 2 of Cobra Kai and The Tick. And then, yeah, we recorded it Wednesday, and then yesterday they canceled The Tick.
Yeah, I was about to say, rest in peace, Tick.
Dude, that fucking show rules, so hopefully Netflix picks it up. Yeah, hopefully Netflix picks it up. It's a really good show. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook under my regular name, and you can follow all my social media profiles that are linked there. Make it easy for you. But that's me.
Very nice. Now, the man who goes from truck stop to truck stop.
And comes away without any infections, surprisingly enough.
Hey, I am the infection.
Yeah, except for
fucking talent.
I know. How do you stay infection free with all those fucking showers and them truck stops?
Full body condoms.
Full body condom.
Dude, Rob's funny.
Rob.
He'll go away for like 4 hours, and he'll make sure to stop and take a shower, even though he like goes to sleep in his own bed.
Nah, man. I bet fucking.
Hey, they're free.
Rob's got an emergency kit with a fucking syringe full of penicillin.
Goddamn right.
Rob, go ahead. Tell him where you're at.
I got one full of penicillin and one full of Rohypnol. It's your guess which one I'm using on who.
I'll say he uses it on himself.
I feel great.
He just tells the lot lizards that the fucking wallet's on the fucking dash.
Yeah, he's like, do whatever you want with me.
It's fucking empty, but it's there.
Yeah, and he's like, just keep the camera on. Do whatever
He's like,
you want.
no, I think there's a gift card to Chick-fil-A. Go ahead.
Dude,
Oh, you don't
what-
have Chick-fil-A
what-
out
Hell
there.
no, up here it's Quick Trip.
Quick Trip,
Oh,
okay.
I was on
What?
Instagram. There was this video, like this lady was on the treadmill and she's filming this like other like workout area, and there's this one girl and she's like she's like holding one of them kettlebells, like doing squats, and there's this other dude. There's this dude sitting there with like a towel across his lap, just like super obviously like beating his meat, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Like he's sitting there, like you know how when little kids are like sitting on the floor like little babies and they're like rolling a ball back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting like that, like with his legs spread out and straight, and he was just beating his meat. And while he was doing it with his free hand, he was recording it on his phone, dude.
Jesus.
Like not even
Okay.
at all, dude.
That's a-
return on the
Dude,
spank
people are
bank,
crazy,
man.
man.
No. Do you guys remember a few years back there was an episode of South Park, and for some reason Kyle kept saying anytime Stan would say something dumb, Kyle kept saying, "Well, you know what? You're just going to end up jacking it in San Diego if you don't."
Yeah.
Yeah, I
stop."
remember
Yeah.
Well, and then at the end of the episode, they did that song, jacking it in San Diego.
jacking it, yeah. Backing it,
Well,
backing it, back.
two seasons ago, at a Chargers game when they were still in San Diego, there was a line judge or one of the guys that held the first down marker.
Yeah.
He is standing on the sidelines looking at the cheerleader, and he's got his hand deep in his pocket,
Popping one off.
obviously beating the shit out of it to them cheerleaders.
I beat
So
my meat.
somebody took that video and they dubbed that song "Jacking It in San Diego" over it because he was literally
Jacking it in San Diego.
in San Diego, and it's one of the greatest things to ever come out of the internet.
Good for him. He's bored. He's sitting there holding that fucking pole. He's like, I got a pole I can do something with. Fuck it. Let me do that. You know what? Bye. Yeah.
All right, Rob, I don't think you ever got off where you're at.
Apparently in a truck stop. The Realm of Collectors. Always at the Realm. Under Rob Milton. On the Instagrams as Rob's Hobbies. And every Friday night here with you guys making questionable life choices.
As always.
If you ain't gonna, if you don't question what you're doing, you're gonna have a lot of regrets at the end of your life.
Hell yeah,
No
dude.
regrets.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. Live fast, die young, leave behind a great-looking corpse.
I'm gonna slide into my grave sideways
I
on
can't do
fire.
that.
Russell, the love
What's
muscle.
up? New baby, I like it. All right, get me going tonight already. Hello, just call me Mr. Shitty Dick, and we'll be good to go. That's my new nickname, Shitty Dick.
Well,
I know what
Santa. We were going to keep your secret, but
Well, we know what my name's gonna be
it's out
changed.
there.
We know what my name's gonna be changed to in the chat.
I'm stealing.
Oh yeah.
No,
I'm stealing.
No,
I'm.
I'm keeping your nickname as it is because with that night when you were trying to spit out the flat rate shipping and said flat shit raping, I mean,
It was just too perfect. Too perfect.
yeah.
So funny.
You can catch me here every Friday night with these jackals, and I know. I'm sorry, I stole that from somebody. Anyway, and I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm always, well, not always. I'm trying to post more shit up in the realm lately, but it's hard because there's so many people posting shit up now, and I always see that it's like I go to post something up and it's like, oh man, fuck, somebody already beat me to it. Fuck you.
Yeah, man, you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick.
Yeah, it's good to see the influx
No.
of the new members and the participation level we're getting from
No,
several of them has been very encouraging.
you know what?
Yeah.
You're right about that, Josh. That's the good part. But it's boxing out old schoolers.
I really, to be serious for a second, I really think there's been a huge influx since that last NJCC. That's what it feels
Not
like.
even that.
Video.
Bobby's video.
Bobby's video too. Thank you, Mr. Skullface.
I was gonna say it's probably because of this show, man. Come on.
Fuck yeah, let's take credit.
What kind of drugs are
Damn
you
right.
on?
We'll hey, come on, Rob. You got to pat ourselves on the back a little bit, right? Come on.
How many of those fucking little miniature beers have you already had, Sam?
It's Friday.
No, they
man.
look like
A
freaking
lot.
kegs in his hand.
I know.
Yeah, but they're only 6 ounces.
Whenever I think of Sam, I think of Deadpool and the Deadpool movie when he's like, it's gonna look so big in this scene.
Jesus Christ. All right,
Y'all
Russ.
realize if we ever get him into a live group meetup with us, he's probably going to kill us all, and we're never gonna see it coming.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to Master Blaster him around TFCon.
No way, dude.
Oh,
Let you-
wow.
Shit!
God.
I thought we were putting him in my backpack.
Either that or be Ferrator. You'll have to dress up like a little girl, though.
Ew, gross.
Oh, he said, oh, gross.
All right, Russ, were you done?
I'm done, Bubba.
Good. Resident Hobbit, wonderful whale watcher, Sam
What's up?
Mead. Where you at?
I'm InstaSam89 on Instagram, which I never get. I get on there a lot. I just don't ever post anything unless I'm like looking for toys. And then Sam Mead in the groups here every Friday night. Welcome everybody. Everybody in the chat, thanks for watching.
Word.
Thanks for being here.
That was
Really
that was
also-
nice,
Where you at,
concise,
Nick?
and professional.
Tell us the origin of this week's T-shirt, Sam.
Oh, dude, eBay, man. There's this one store who I always buy vintage shirts from, so he'll be like, hey, you want this, this, and this for this price? I'm like, lay it on me, man. I don't know what.
You don't even need to hit the auctions. He got your number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, he like it will just send me a PayPal invoice.
Wonderful.
All right.
All right.
Interesting.
I'm your host, Masterpiece Shitpiece, Nick Brammer. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for coming in the chat and participating. I loves to see the good numbers. Give us a like, give us a dislike, tell us to fuck off in the comments, whatever.
Give us a view.
Give us something. Something. Jesus.
Yeah, fucking hop in, watch for a minute.
We don't need Jesus.
No, we need cheesy crust.
Nice.
Cheesy
The pepperoni
crust.
messiah.
It's good stuff, dude.
You can find me on Facebook as Nick Brammer. You can find me on Twitter as Brammer_Nick. And on Instagram as Masterpiece_Shitpiece.
Look at that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're not going to cover the Robert Pattinson Batman news for one reason. It hasn't been confirmed by anyone. So,
Is it a prank?
I don't know.
Think so?
I mean, there's
I don't-
tons of outlets reporting that. There's tons of outlets reporting it, but until official word comes from DC,
Dude, no,
Wait,
DC.
Warner
wait,
Brothers.
And then they got all
Isn't this officially covering it?
no.
No,
Hey,
this
hey,
is
hey,
just
hey.
our fucking disclaimer.
Listen here, Rob. You're a real journalist here, okay?
We have
What?
some integrity.
We have some very little.
But yeah, that's why we're not covering that this week, guys, because, again, there's been no confirmation. The stories going around is that it's either Robert Pattinson or Nicholas Hoult. Out of the two, I'd rather see Nicholas Hoult, obviously. But there's nothing to report on that front. So we're going to go ahead and get into the news, but I just want, in case anybody was looking for us to cover that, not happening this week. So our first story this week is Disney acquires full control of Hulu.
Matter of time, man.
Yeah, we've told you guys this is gonna happen for a while because Disney with ABC had already owned, I think, 33%, and now with their acquisition of Fox, they own over 60%. So
7%.
yeah, 67%. So they own 2/3 of Hulu. So we're seeing exactly what we thought was going to happen, and with the news that Hulu was going to get some animated series from Marvel, this was pretty obvious. It's just, it's crazy when it actually does drop. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Comcast is still retaining 33%
Yeah.
ownership, but they're giving all creative control and all administrative control to Disney.
Yeah, but they don't really have a choice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Disney
Well, yeah.
basically owns it at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, they're
Anything over
majority.
51% and they majority stakes. So,
Mhm.
but Comcast has to hold on to that little bit of money.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's good that Disney's gonna have control of this though, because Disney's gonna it gives Disney an outlet to put their content that they don't want to put on their normal stream on their
And I hope they. I hope they
you know,
do
so
that,
it's
man.
good.
Well,
I
that's what.
the rated R stuff, whether it's
That's
TV
what-
or movies.
Yes, and that's what Bob Iger had been saying for months. Any R-rated content will not be on
Right.
the Disney Plus service.
Yeah, and
It
to
will
me,
go
this
on.
shows like their
It will go on
commitment
Hulu.
to-
Right,
Yeah.
which
it shows
is
their
really
commitment to that.
Yeah,
Well-
and it's good. It's good. You know?
Well, like we had
And
said
it's
before,
also. Go ahead, Rob.
I was say, like we had said before, it has everything to do with the fact that I think they want to keep the Disney service more
Clean.
Family
yeah,
friendly.
family friendly. So you
Right.
can, oh, this is Disney, so mom can hand that tablet or phone to their kid, and they can just
Yep.
watch away
Yeah.
and not have to worry about seeing
Well,
Deadpool balls.
This is exactly why they actually did the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2, so they can put it on the Disney Plus service,
Yeah.
Right.
but also keep the regular R-rated versions of Deadpool on Hulu.
Have any of
Yeah.
you guys watched the PG-13 one?
It
Nah,
doesn't
no,
drop. It
man.
doesn't drop until December, does it?
Oh shit! I
Oh,
didn't
was it?
realize
Oh,
that.
that's right. That's their Christmas.
Yeah, that's their like Christmas present.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll
Yeah,
be, man. If it'll seem too off.
I could never do that, dude.
Man, and yeah,
It's gonna be a parody. I don't think it's gonna be a direct cut.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some kind of
Yeah.
parody.
like I'm gonna let my son watch it. You know what I mean? It's cool because like I wouldn't want him necessarily to watch the rated R one, but like I'll let him watch the PG-13 one because
Yeah.
he's is into Deadpool even though he hasn't seen him in anything. Like he just sees him around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's a known character. So
Yeah,
it's-
he's like
Yeah.
in the cultural zeitgeist, you'd say.
Yeah, Sam. Y'all gotta play if y'all haven't played the Deadpool video game. You
Oh,
gotta
it's awesome.
It is pretty dope.
off the fucking hook, dude. It's insane.
Legit,
No.
that's Gabriel's favorite
Yeah.
game.
It's good.
Now, something that I was just thinking about while we were talking is that Disney is going to have 2 streaming services that they have control of. Do you think that they're going to be trying to push Netflix?
Oh, they're already trying to shove Netflix right out.
Yeah, because I mean Netflix has a giant, ingrown base, but with them losing all the Disney content, all the
Yeah.
Fox content,
Mhm.
All the Star Wars content.
They're gonna be fine.
they're going to
I
be
mean-
fine, but at the same time, I think that this is the only way that a streaming service could challenge Netflix.
Here's the thing, though. I would say you're right, but the problem is Netflix is, I think, they're preparing for this.
They are.
They really amped up their own shit, like their own original stuff. They really amped up the making of a lot of stuff. They're making their own movies now. They're making their
Yeah.
lots of shit, and the content is some of it's some of it's pretty good. You just have to kind of check it out and stick with it, and it's pretty awesome. But
Yeah.
they're also
Mhm.
there are other studios out there making movies other than just Disney, and all their
Yeah, but Comcast owns Universal also.
Good point.
Right,
So,
they still have like the rights to the Hulk too, right?
Universal does,
Yeah.
yes.
Like
But-
for a solo movie.
But again,
Right, but
there's
any solo movie of the Hulk that they do, because of the way the rights are, they have to co-produce with Marvel. That's why the Incredible Hulk, the second one with Ed Norton, is considered in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
enough.
what you're saying. I mean, but who knows? Netflix might be trying to start working out deals with studios to
Yeah,
get their shit exclusively.
and they're going
Well,
they're going heavy on their own comic content too, because they have
They are.
a deal with Dark Horse, and a couple months ago they announced a deal that they have with Mark Miller and the Miller World properties.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were talking
And they've
about
been
that
going
last night,
to.
man. That'd be a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
They've also been going to award-winning directors like Alfonso Cuarón
Yeah.
and letting them create their own independent films, and then backing them, financing them, let them be released for like a week in theaters so they qualify for awards,
Yeah.
and then carry them exclusively on Netflix.
That movie he
Right.
did that was on Netflix, it got nominated for Best Picture
Yeah,
and Best Director. I mean, that dude's a fucking genius.
They're also doing all this animated content shit. They're doing all
Yeah.
the anime.
I still haven't
Yeah.
peeped Ultraman yet.
It's
Ultraman.
pretty
oh, it's
cool, dude.
Yeah.
it's really good.
It's
The
pretty
art
good.
style is dope.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah, I love that
Nick,
shit,
I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel and I said, I'm just gonna go for it and watch this, trying to do what Josh told me and not be prejudgy about shit. So I just kind of said, I'm gonna check it out, and I was really pleasantly
What,
surprised.
Ultraman you're talking about?
Yeah, Ultraman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude,
Cool,
I
man.
watched Ultraman when I was a little kid,
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
and I love that stuff. So whenever they do a newer, updated version of something, I always get worried. And my
Yeah.
first thought is, they're gonna fuck it up, But I'm trying to do what Josh said. I'm trying to be a little less,
Well, here's the thing. Even if they tell a story that you're not pleased with,
Yeah.
Does that affect your ability to go back and watch the original thing that you loved?
Yes.
And then it's like it
That's a good
always
point.
like it's like even if you don't like the interpretation, whatever, it's like if it brings new fans to it, then it's
Yeah.
worth it, you know.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I just
wanna
had my
address
kid
that.
watching Ultraman, so
Go ahead,
I
Rob.
want to address this comment Collecticon made about Netflix still isn't profitable. That's a little bit subjective because they have been profitable, and the only reason they're not currently showing a profit is because everything they make and then a little bit more they've been rolling into all this new content.
Yeah.
So yes, they're showing a loss, but it's not because they aren't making money. They're investing in properties.
And another thing about Netflix is they're definitely getting the Karen demographic. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing all this serial killer shit. Like they got,
Oh, for sure.
and
Mhm.
I'm telling you right now, from the way it looks, that Zac Efron, Ted Bundy movie that they're gonna do, I'm guarantee you that's gonna get some nominations.
Dude, I'm gonna watch that shit, man. I bet that'll be good.
Yeah. Well, the fucking Bundy tapes was excellent. It
That was cool,
it
man.
was
Was this
fucking
the one
dope.
about-
Summer?
Is that the one where the chick they're gonna tell a story about there's like a chick that he was carrying on with
Yeah.
in prison that wouldn't believe wouldn't believe he was guilty or
Oh
something. like that?
no! This is the
No.
chick he was with before he went to prison, and she stayed.
okay.
She stayed with him a little bit
That's-
after because like she
Okay.
couldn't believe it.
Okay, that's
They-
what it was. I must
so
have
basi-
I must have heard it wrong.
So basically, like if you watch the Bundy tapes, it's they explain who she is and everything,
That's
and like
crazy.
yeah,
That sounds interesting though.
Yeah.
It sounds-
and like
Oh,
Ted Bundy's kind of been romanticized. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like as far as serial killers go, he's not a Dahmer. You know what I mean? He was a
He was like he was like a good looking dude, like a ladies' man.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, I decided to pull up the trending now on my wife's side. Of 'cause
Oh
mine's
shit,
all
Tron
super
Viper. Hey,
serious.
what's up? Sorry, Rob.
What's up, dude?
And you got shit like
What's up,
because she
Dave?
watches that typical Karen shit.
Yeah.
But you got like stuff. This right here says Netflix is gonna be fine. Supernatural, The Office, Legacies, Imposters, Chambers, a lot of original content on here. Then you've got your How to Get Away with Murder, like you guys were saying, The Perfect Date, Friends. They get all these old series. I mean, New Girl's
Yeah.
on there. Netflix gets all these weird series that the average person watches.
Yeah,
Just-
so they'll keep, and it's like a lot of people probably will just like play the season and just watch it straight through, like when they're fucking around their house or whatever, you know.
All right.
Collecticon, they are paying that debt. That's the difference. Yes, they're going to carry debt. Any major corporation carries
Yeah.
debt. But that debt is rolling. It's the old debt is paid, the new debt is created, so they're fine. Their credit score isn't dipping.
Yeah, it's not like Bain Capital's involved with them.
There, trust me. Let me tell you. I promise you, Collecticon, that they're not going. Netflix is going to be around for a while. They're not going they're not going away. I'm telling you now.
Dude, we've been Netflix subscribers since God. When
Yeah,
did they start
they're
doing
not.
the DVD shipping? 2001.
Yeah,
They're
the
not.
fact that they
going
were
Yeah.
they evolved. They're a company that evolved and stayed there with it, and now they were into something. They saw it going away. They changed.
Yeah.
They, you know,
Always done
And
that.
it's like they've made a name for themselves as far as like
Yes.
original program. It's like they're up there. Like when you know it's like a Netflix original, like it's up there now in name like with HBO. You know, like you
Yeah.
know it's
Yeah.
at least gonna be decent.
yeah. Now you pay attention. You don't go, oh, they did something stupid again.
Yeah.
You go,
Yeah.
oh, that might be good. You check it out. You know, so.
Yeah. They've always been
it's-
very adaptive to their market.
Yeah.
They were first into the streaming system. And you can bring up Blockbuster too. Blockbuster wasn't on top of any
They
of this
didn't
shit.
evolve.
They were too
They
late to
didn't
the game.
evolve, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were too late to the mail order game. They were too late to the streaming service attempt. They did it really poorly. Netflix has always been adaptive.
Dude,
And they've
speaking
done
of
really
Blockbuster,
well.
do you guys, any of you guys have a family video
funny.
by you?
Oh yeah,
No.
Dude, we
I don't.
got two, not where I live now, but where I grew up and where I work, and they're like always like bumping, and like I always wonder like how do they stay open?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Dude,
but they make
last-
bank around here, man. Their managers, we
Dude.
got 3 of them in town. Their managers make like $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
Nice.
like
Fucking
I don't know
video
how
store.
they do so well. Like
Yeah,
still,
the only The only video stores around here, man, are the porn stores, dude. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, Family Video
know,
has that. I think that might be
yeah,
how
they
they're
do.
doing it.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
wondering.
this day and age, like what person is like, damn, I want to watch some porn. Let me go rent a DVD, or even like go buy one.
Well,
Like
well,
who
most of the
does that?
places they
You
sell
get
all the
smartphones.
toys and stuff too. But they have like they
Yeah,
have a big
yeah.
selection of movies you can buy and shit.
Yeah,
so.
you go in,
Well,
you go in with your girl, buy some toys, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
then buy a movie.
Those places too, they're like they have like like guest appearances at those places. You know, like the same way like a bigger comic book shop might be like, oh, we got this artist. They're gonna come in and do a meet and greet. Like they'll do that at those adult stores, man.
Yeah, dude, legit, like Family Video here is busy as shit all
Yeah,
the time.
dude, the two by me, I don't know how they're doing it, man.
Yeah, like
I
our
just-
red
it's
boxes, you never see anybody at our red boxes except for the one in Walmart. But man, you go to the Family Video and their parking lots are packed.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
like on a
that's-
weekend night or something.
Yeah,
I guess it's crazy to me that they're still somehow kicking, you know?
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, hey, man. But like I said, it's all about evolving, and Netflix is even evolving now. The fact that they're creating their own content, they are
Yeah.
evolving. They
Yeah,
used to
they're
take other
investing in
people's
themselves,
content,
Yeah.
stream it. Yeah, so they're. I just think they're a company that seems to stay ahead of the game, and I don't think. I know. Look, I'm not saying Disney ain't gonna take a little from them. I'm sure it's gonna hurt them a little bit, but
Oh,
they'll be
yeah.
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna hurt them as much as people are speculating.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it is either because
No.
Disney is great. They're gonna have all their content, but there's so much other content that's not Disney made. It's not connected to Disney. You know what I mean?
Well-
There's other shit out there.
Yeah, but now they have a lot that they are fucking, you know,
I know
privy
that they're
to.
getting-
I mean,
You're right.
the Simpsons is gonna move from Hulu to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
People still watch that show?
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't given a
Yeah.
shit about that show in over 15 years.
It's
The
crazy
only-
how long
I haven't
that-
watched it since I was
The only thing I make sure to watch every year for the Simpsons is the Treehouse of Terror.
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
Simpsons,
I mean-
the last time I watched it was still good, but it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
know if they're doing
but,
now.
you know, I mean, I know there's going to be. I mean, I know Disney has a lot of stuff. I know they do, but I mean, there is a lot of stuff that's not Disney that out there too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
But
just think that-
but Russ, just go to your fucking trending fucking thing on Netflix and see how much Disney owns. Indiana
Oh, you know what? I
Indiana
did this shit-
Jones.
it's funny. I did
Star
this shit the other
Wars.
day, dude.
See, that's
was-
why I jumped on Tiff's account when I
Yeah.
jumped on it, because if you look at mine, you see all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to hers, she's a much better picture of your typical
Yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix
Your average
watcher. Like,
demographic.
ours is gonna be skewed for us.
But like
It's gonna be
Right.
animated.
and then even, you know, Russ mentioned like New Girl. That's going to be gone soon.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
You know,
yeah, no,
all those
yeah.
all those Fox series, the FX series, everything's going to be gone off there.
Yeah, because that's all Disney now, right? Because Disney's got all that shit. Because
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much Fox sold them like the studio that's produced all the TV shit and the movie shit, right? So
Yeah.
now it's basically the only thing Fox has got now is news and sports.
Right.
That's all they're doing now. So that's all they kept. So
Yeah.
interesting.
And there's going to
Well, Fox actually has to sell their sports stuff though.
yeah, because of the way the shit went. Yeah, they're selling off their most of their sports stuff to regional networks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Collecticon, I know the mouse
Right.
has a huge checkbook, but they've got a $7 a month streaming service, and the mouse does not do anything without making a profit.
Yeah.
That's why they're not going to buy up the rights to all these other shows. So,
Yeah.
and Netflix still has a ton of original content. They got a ton of classic content that's sticking around. They're actually bringing a lot of shit over from Japan and adapting it.
They are.
Yeah.
They're amping up the anime.
The anime is a huge.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate just how much people are willing to pay for anime,
Yeah.
and they're nailing it.
I'm
So-
still
I
paying
agree.
I'm still paying
Some
I'm
of-
still paying $5.99 a month for Funimation too.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
some of their best content in the past year was foreign content that we wouldn't have had. One of the best shows I've ever seen was the German show Dark, and season 2 drops next month, and I'm excited about it. Another really good show is a it's I think it's Danish, but it's called The Rain, and it just dropped its second season today. Great show. There's always going to be something coming out that
Yeah.
will pique somebody's interest, and You know, I'm not worried about them. And people are like, oh, well, you know, it's half the price of Netflix. People are going to drop Netflix.
No.
I mean, come on. If I'm paying $13 a month for Netflix, I'm fine paying an extra $7 a month for Disney.
I
Yeah.
spend more than that a week
If
on coffee.
Well, we're getting ready.
exactly. I mean, if the shit that you watch, if it comes down to $7 is going to make or break you, maybe you don't need a streaming service
Yeah.
so much.
We're getting ready to
Buy
unplug
some
and
groceries.
And you know they're gonna do
and
it.
go straight to streaming. So
We've done it, Russ, and you just do it, and then like at the same time, there's still fucking Cody.
Do you
Dude,
guys
we haven't
still
had
have
cable
Wow.
in shit. I haven't
Yeah.
had cable in 12, 14 years.
Anna
Yeah,
Anna wants to
about
do
5, man.
Anna wants to do Sling.
Yeah, I can tell you, for the people who have Hulu, because a
Yeah.
lot of people, they have Netflix, they have Hulu.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would venture a guess that they're gonna do some kind of bundle deal with Hulu and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
get
and
like
it'll probably be about the same price as the cost of Netflix per month.
I think it'll be
Right.
cheaper because you
Probably about
you
10
figure.
bucks.
Well, what I was gonna say is you bundle Hulu and the fucking Disney service at like $12.99 a month. I mean that's $2 cheaper than Netflix.
It's the exact same price as
Yeah.
Netflix. That's what I'm paying for.
Oh, sorry.
$12.99 a month. That's
Yeah.
Why is mine more
$13.
expensive?
you've got the one where you
Do
can
you
run
have
more
the
streams.
Do you have the 4K or do you have the one where you can run up to 5 things at once?
I think so.
'Cause
Yeah.
I've just got the standard HD package where you can stream on 2 different devices at once. It's $12.99.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I've got too.
Oh, and the other thing, I paid more for Hulu too because I paid for the commercial-free version,
Yeah, that's what
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep.
which is an
It's-
awesome thing that they
Yeah,
did, and
yeah, but it
Or
bugs
give me
me.
the option.
yeah,
I
and so
almost-
like,
I almost want to cut Hulu for that shit. For that,
well,
I don't believe if I'm paying for a streaming service, I'm paying for it. I don't think I should have commercials.
Okay, how much do you pay for
period.
cable television?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm about to nix cable television for that very reason too. I'm tired of it. It's too much
It's
money.
basic-
I'm
It's
tired of it.
$100 a month for an ad service.
Yeah,
for your
I'm
cable
tired.
Yeah.
Basically, you're right. I'm tired of paying for that shit. You know.
yeah,
So
we
it's
do.
like,
We
I
dropped
even-
cable and upped our internet speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even pay for YouTube Premium just to get rid of the fucking ads. I
Yeah, me
Mhm.
too.
hate
Yep.
Dude, yeah, I do YouTube Premium for like 1 month out of the year. Like if there's like a certain sporting event I want to watch and I'm like, okay, I need ESPN, but like it's just a pain in the ass to like use their app. So I'll just get YouTube TV. That's what it is, YouTube TV.
Yeah.
And like I'll do like the month trial and then like for the month I'll just like watch whatever.
I think the only thing I was worried about is NFL, but Anna said that there are Sling has a deal where you can get NFL games. On Sling.
Well, you can if you have Amazon Prime, you can also pay for the NFL ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
For Amazon Prime, you can do the NFL ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sony's had a deal where even if you didn't have cable, if you wanted to buy the NFL Sunday ticket, you can
Yeah.
do so without being
Yeah.
a DirecTV customer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Might not be too bad either,
It's like
'cause-
with ESPN.
But man, it's gotten so damn expensive though the past few years. The NFL Sunday
That's-
ticket has.
that's what the NFL wants to fucking make that money.
Yeah.
And they know they will.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna give Sam the last word on this topic and then move on
What's
because
up,
we've
Sam?
been hitting this for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like with some apps, like you say you want ESPN or something like that, like you have to select. Like, it's like you can't just be like, I want to pay to watch this. Like you have to have a service provider,
Yeah.
which is a pain
Yeah.
in the ass. But like
Good
YouTube
point.
TV is an easy option if you want to
Mhm.
do that.
Word.
All right.
So kind of going back into Disney a little bit, it was announced. Disney did an announcement last week where they showed like their movie schedule, and it says untitled Marvel movie, untitled Star Wars movie, and all that great stuff. So the first Star Wars movie after Rise of the Skywalker is going to be done by the same team that developed Game of Thrones.
Can't wait.
So it's not going to be the Rian Johnson trilogy, which
Ian-
is still
Ian-
in development, people.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm excited for this shit.
I am too, because I have watched Game of Thrones, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
So-
You know what? I'd never watched an episode of it until last night, and I'm 7 episodes into the first season as of today.
Damn.
How are you
Man,
liking
that's a
it
lot
so
of porn.
far?
I mean, it's okay.
But they definitely had a lot more nudity and fucking back in the original game.
Yeah, but he's only on episode 7 of the first season.
Yeah, I've watched 7 episodes.
So
yeah,
like
it's better.
And the thing is those last 3 episodes in the first season really ramp shit up and get you into the story.
Yeah, dude, I'm cool with that if the payoff's cool. But yeah, I think these dudes, they can clearly tell a good story that's engaging to such a. I mean, it's like people that like aren't into nerd stuff are into Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think if they can appeal to those people and like people like us, man, then these are the people I want involved in Star Wars, which is like my favorite franchise. You know?
And see the room. Go ahead.
Is it going to be a side story, or are they going to start working on?
Yeah, see, after Rise of the Skywalker, there's not going to be anything to deal with the main trilogy.
Yeah, which I'm glad about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Rise of the Skywalker is capping the entire Skywalker saga. So, the rumor is that they're going to be developing something in the Old Republic.
Yep.
Oh.
Can't wait.
So, yeah, so we talked about this a little bit, and like they're saying it's going to be set in the old. Supposedly, the rumor is it's going to be set in the Old Republic, but we don't know what era. We don't know if it's the Dark Brotherhood, Darth Bane. We don't know if it's going to be Revan.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know how far back they're going to go. The Old Republic.
That's like 1,000 years worth of.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, thousands of years, man. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wish that between them and Rian Johnson that they would pick 2 strong stories from the Old Republic era, and each of them like focus on one. You know, like if we got, for me, the perfect one would be like one of them do Revan, one of them do Bane. But
see, what I think it is Rian Johnson is going to be the like furthering the saga. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's gonna be what Rian Johnson is gonna do is gonna be after, Rise of the Skywalker, taking it into a different direction, and then what they're gonna be doing with Benioff and Weiss is the fucking Old Republic shit.
I think they can get deep and they can start doing spin-offs and do the deeper.
Yep, and then
canon.
Yeah.
And then on for the streaming services on Disney Plus, you're gonna have The Mandalorian, and you're gonna have the Cassian Andor series too.
See,
plus that last season of Clone Wars.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
Well, that's going to Netflix, isn't it?
No, it's going to Disney Plus.
Oh, it's going to Disney Plus. Okay, because I know Netflix had the rights, and Netflix did the last season.
They don't have the Clone Wars on there anymore. It's going to Disney Plus. That's when it's going.
The guys in the chat, they're talking about like stories they want from like the Old Republic and stuff. And like I know I mentioned 2 of them, but it's like I'm worried that like I'm gonna want the exact same story told that like we already got told with
No. Yeah. Keep it based on source material, but take liberties, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep an open mind. You know,
the fact that they have Weiss and Benioff doing this. Let me tell you what those guys did. They wrote Game of Thrones, and of course, a lot of the content was already written, by George R.R. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
But they changed things up that they needed to change up for the show. But then they got to a point where they were off book.
Yeah.
They were making shit up on their own. Basically, they've been off book for a few seasons now.
But didn't they at that point? Is that what they brought? Isn't that when they brought in a new writing team?
They did bring in a lot. They
did bring in a new writing team. And basically, the last book of Game of Thrones is going to be season 8 of Game of Thrones, except Martin has to tie up the stuff in the book that isn't in there.
And the point I'm getting to it is those guys are good at taking what somebody else has written and twisting it around to
condensing it to the story. Yeah.
Exactly. They can stay true to the spirit of it and everything.
Right. And I think they will. They're pretty good about it. I think they could take a lot of stuff in the EU and say, hey, we'll borrow from some of that, we'll twist it around and make it new,
With a lot of that the only thing that just real quick like that I'm worried about is like some of that stuff like you get so far removed from like the original trilogy, like it almost in some ways like doesn't even feel like Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Well, I think
it's like jarring to some people.
It's going to feel more like the prequel trilogies because there's actually going to be like a massive Jedi and maybe depending on where they go, like there's gonna be a massive Sith because even if they do Bane, they're gonna have to have the Brotherhood of Shadow in there so that you know.
You know what? I think a perfect starting point would be. I think it was set about 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin in the Old Republic era. The Ulic and Keldroma, how they were the Jedi, and Ulic fell to the dark side, and Exar Kun, they became the first two Siths.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that would be a perfect place to start.
Yeah,
with Old
they ended up on
Republic
the
stuff.
Sith. They ended up on the home world of of the Sith species.
Yeah, see, like a lot of people don't realize what you're saying, Russ. Is that like there's two different things. They had a Sith species, and then they had
like red skin and
yeah.
Right.
What were they called? The Masasi?
They're just called.
No,
the
that's
Sith.
that's something
Oh,
that's something a
my
little
bad.
different. No,
Yeah.
it's okay, dude.
No, it's all right. It's Josh.
It's confusing.
It is
It's confusing, and it's like it's never really been established or like set straight by one person.
Well, the Sith homeworld, okay,
Korriban.
Korriban. That's you saw a lot of people of the Sith species lived on that one too,
And they also introduced it in the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
They had a different name. It was Korriban, and then I think in the Clone Wars it was like Moraban.
yeah. Well, they're actually two different planets. Like
yeah.
Is that cool? Because like the one in the Clone Wars like didn't have like the Valley of the Sith Lords around.
Right. But it did see like it had Bane's tomb, and Bane didn't go back to Bane wasn't buried on Korriban.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But they did deal with Korriban too, because there was stuff with either was it Nagasato or which one? Because there were more Sith like after images besides Bane.
I'm trying to think of who they had.
To make Clone Wars.
Yeah.
In that episode.
Well, where Revan wasn't it too, wasn't he?
No, Revan was in a deleted scene. Like
a deleted scene.
Okay. He was a deleted episode that they never filmed.
Okay. I thought I remember hearing they were going to do it.
Had like a character model, right?
Yeah, they have a character model and everything. It was supposed to be
Lucas cut it out or something.
What the fuck is his name? One of the Jedi, Plo Koon.
Plo Koon, okay.
Was supposed to go to fucking Korriban and deal with some of that shit. Deal with Revan and his holocron. And that's another thing that they introduced, like from the books and like the extended universe, was they introduced fucking holocrons in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Right, right.
Like they do that stuff on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also something that like we were just fucking around with in our chat, because I was telling Russ, is there's only a few Sith Lords that are considered in canon right now, and they're rewriting like the past of certain.
I mean, I haven't read anywhere yet about what they're doing with Bane's story.
Yeah.
I know, but you better believe it. If they have it, if they brought him into canon, you know they're redoing some shit.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't take anything from the extended universe. They don't take anything from that without changing it and bending it to their own story. So they're not. Something's gonna get changed, and you might be right. Maybe Xana's just gonna go bye bye.
I think what they're doing, from like what I've seen, like every like Star Wars wiki and every like fan site and shit has different information.
That's true.
But what it looks like is that they're trying to make Darth Atreus Bane's apprentice instead of Xana.
That's interesting.
So is that from the book or a comic or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'm not sure if they're like what they're gonna do, but like it seems like they're primed to do something with Bane, whether it's a TV series or the set of movies. You know.
What would you guys want to see between the TV
Revan.
series and movies? I'm talking about if like with just Bane.
With just Bane movies.
I'd rather see the TV series. I think I'd rather see the long game played for him.
Yeah, but if you,
I think they did a good job with the books, Nick. You know.
Yeah, but like the reason why I say movies, Rob, is I think that you can tell Bane's story across 3 movies.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, 3 2-hour movies. That's 6
Yeah.
hours of content. You could probably get a pretty good. Story.
Well, I mean, again, depending on what they do with Bane's story, because they're not going to follow the real Bane story.
Could be Bane in name only, you know.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Which is gonna bother me, but at the same time, I'm intrigued a little bit about what they might how the story. I like new stories, you know.
Yeah.
So the version.
I
I'm
like
intrigued.
being surprised.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, we all most of us know Bane's EU story. Okay, I mean, so it'd be cool to have another something else. Yeah, told
Or
to us that we
some
don't know.
kind of an adaptation of it. Even.
So, yeah, even if they keep some things, I'm okay with that too. But
Because
it'd be cool to have
it's
another
like
story.
you at least would want it to feel like the same character, like in the spirit of, because it comes to a point where, like, in as much as I'm open to new stuff, which I totally am, like if they're gonna have him be called Darth Bane, but his story is gonna be like completely different, like why not just call him anything, like just to make up a new name for him? Like why does he have to be Bane?
Because see, that's the thing, is the name Darth Bane has cachet.
Yes, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a well-known character.
Yeah.
Well, in the U.S. So it's
And he's
the
been
same
in
shit they
clone.
do-
Sorry,
And
Rob. Go ahead.
It's the same shit they do with character names across all the different nerd franchises.
look at Transformers. Transformers has done it
Yeah.
a million
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
It just doesn't really matter. And I
Right.
like with him, like his story is really important to like the Sith story and where they ended up
Yeah.
in the prequel and in original trilogies and stuff. So
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah, that's interesting, Nick. If they do that with Atreus, that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's kind of cool.
And see, like, according to most sites that I've seen,
Mhm.
Plagueis is canon. Okay,
Yeah,
because
I would
because of Palpatine mentioning him in Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
But the thing that doesn't look like it's canon is Darth Tenebris, who was Plagueis' master.
Plagueis' master, right?
So
Okay,
I think what they're doing is they had, like, basically they have the story of Plagueis into Palpatine on. But
Right.
what it looks like they're gonna do is tell a new story of everything that happened before that.
Well, remember, Plagueis and Palpatine are from Bane's line.
Oh yeah,
From Bane's line, because Bane was from Revan's line, so it goes down. You know, it's the line goes not from
Right.
Bane's line, from Bane's because Bane was the ruler too. Sorry, Bane is the one. Bane's the establisher of the line. That's what it is.
Yeah, Bane's the one that started the whole rule.
Rule 2.
Right, and I think the reason why I'm getting mixed up is that, and I consider him kind of Revan, is because the Rule of Two came from Revan originally. This is where Bane got the idea of the Rule of 2. Revan's teachings, when he found Revan's holocron, Bane learned that, and that's what made Bane think he's right. He's got a point. I gotta apply this, you know. So,
all right, I'm gonna. Okay, sorry.
I'm such a dork. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm gonna change it up on you guys. I'm gonna move one story ahead, and we'll come back to the story that's listed next on our agenda. But the Hush animated trailer dropped.
I didn't see it yet. I haven't.
Oh man, you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Like they can just like do no wrong with these movies.
Yeah.
What's
the only misstep they had was the Killing Joke.
Yeah, with
because they
the
added
extra
into
stuff
it.
in.
Yeah,
just unnecessarily.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Killing Joke. It was alright.
yeah, but the whole Batman fucking Batgirl thing is kind of creepy.
It was unnecessary.
They didn't need that to have Batman care about Batgirl.
Right.
And I agree with you. Yeah,
See, I always thought that Batman and Batgirl were a thing.
No,
just
it was
Robin?
Dick.
No,
it was Dick and
Dick.
Barbara.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Dick was dicking.
Yeah, Dick was sliding his name into Barbara.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
So them doing that was a little weird because I always felt like Batman took more of a fatherly figure to her.
Yeah,
So it's that's why it's a little creepier than but
yeah,
But
and especially
Bruce Wayne is a lonely man, so
yeah, but he's always had his own stable of hoes. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, from Vicky Vale to Silver St. Cloud, Catwoman. Batman's gotten his own pieces. They didn't need to give him Batgirl.
old Dick Grace is like, hey yo, stay off my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
didn't he hit was it Nisa Al Ghul or whatever her name is at one point too?
Talia, dude. Wait.
Talia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Talia.
definitely-
Talia.
he-
Yeah,
definitely-
that's how they got Damien.
That's Damien. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little
Now-
fucking Satan spawn.
I don't.
Saying-
It's like you're mentioning Nissa, like
Oh,
suppo-
Nisa's the other daughter, right?
Yeah. But like the thing is in the comics, Nissa was an item with Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, she was on the Arrow TV show too.
She
Yeah,
was.
she was. Fucking
Both
Arrow was
daughters.
getting her.
Both of them were on the Arrow show. I thought they
Yeah.
had Talia too. Yeah.
But
It-
the
I-
rumor is because they at first they were saying that Idris Elba was going to be Deadshot.
Right.
Now they're saying he's going to be Bronze Tiger.
Huh.
Dude, I would love him if he was Ra's al Ghul, dude. I think he'd be.
Oh,
he'd be-
Idris Elba
he'd
is
be
Raz.
fucking dope.
That'd be
Oh,
dope.
Yeah.
Huh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
I think he's old enough. Like I want him to be
Yeah.
like an older man, but he's still like physically like formidable.
Well, the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about Raz too is you can get him at he doesn't have to be necessarily an old man. You can get him,
Yeah.
you know.
I wanted to
He
see,
can
like,
say it's
have like
rejuvenated.
this, like project like this like wizened and like
Yeah.
like experience. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing with Idris Elba is he oozes that regal.
Yeah,
rise.
exactly, man.
You know,
I
the
see what
way-
you're
Yeah,
saying.
Something about Benicio del Toro being or they said like they were looking at him to be like, and like it was they didn't say a name. It said a character description of like someone who was like quote unquote immortal. So it was either him as Raz or it's Vandal Savage, which I think would be cool.
Oh, Vandal Savage.
Vandal.
Huh?
Del Toro and Vandal Savage.
Well, there's supposed to be a Secret Six TV show coming too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We reported on that.
Is that gonna be on
Yeah.
That's on the DC streaming service, right? That's what that's going to be at.
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be a CW one.
Is it
Oh,
really?
that's a bummer,
Well,
man.
CW is amping up their material because they have to replace a lot of shows.
Yeah, Supernatural's
Like, oh,
going away after
yeah.
next season.
They just got rid of the Vampire Diaries. The originals is gone. That's why they're amping up on shit. And they like these superhero shows, man. They're kicking
I feel like
ass.
Secret Six has to be on the app just because I feel like that would need to be rated R.
Oh man, I
You know what
wish
I
it
mean?
would, man.
You know what? It
It'd
should
be a
be.
bummer if
awesome.
it wasn't. Like some stuff you can get away with it, but I think
Yeah.
Secret Six kind of has to be.
Yeah.
It would be really cool because
I mean, like with what you're saying, Sam. Like, I can't see how they could do Ragdoll and not have it rated R.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be a bummer, but I don't
Good
know.
point. I mean,
But again, it's like if it gets people interested in the property,
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah, no, I think I mean that's pretty awesome though. God damn, they've got a lot of good shit in the works, don't they? That's pretty cool. God damn. I mean, characters that don't always get to shine, they probably should because they're good characters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
It's crazy just because like one of the things I do like about the animated movies is that they can do these like just straight up comic story
Yeah.
arc
Yeah.
adaptations, which you don't
Yeah.
necessarily see in film. Like you
Yeah.
you take the Dark Knight, it was like kind of loosely based on Dark Victory Long Halloween, and then like base pulled from these other stories, but like these straight up story arc adaptations, you really only see these in like the DC animated stuff. Like they just got something figured out. Like they
Well-
can't do a live action movie to save their fucking lives, but like these
Yeah.
animated movies are
Well,
they just pump out like gold.
people
You know?
people always get on my ass because I always say that people always like to say that Joker is Batman's is his main, that's his nemesis, and I say, well, Joker has a hold on Batman. I will give you credit.
Yeah.
But Batman's true nemesis has always been Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah.
That's the guy who was responsible for Batman in some ways. And a
Well, you
lot of
gotta
ways.
look. Rosh
the-
Rosh didn't show up until the 70s.
I know, but I'm talking about newer story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other
You
thing
know.
too is I think Batman struggles where on some levels he agrees with what Rosh does.
I agree,
Yeah.
and that's true. He
So-
just doesn't
It's the same
Yeah.
philosophy, different approach. man.
different
I-
approach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And-
Yeah,
and
you're right.
it's like one of the tons of examples. It's like what makes a great Batman villain. You know what I mean? It's like he's got the best rogues guy. Like Raz, dude. He's one. Here he is, right here. He's fucking.
Beautiful, dude.
He's off.
That looks like
Liam
that
Neeson
guy
one?
from Ducard.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Is that Liam Nielsen?" Oh yeah.
I love it.
Nielsen.
But like that's the thing what makes him such a good character. And even when he was on that Arrow show, Like
Dude, I loved the portrayal of Roz on
Yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah,
I thought
it
he
was good.
cool, man. I only watched what was that season 3. I only watched like
Dude.
up until like the mid-season finale where he like killed the Arrow dude, and then I stopped watching it. But
That's when I was watching. Like I was watching Arrow back then for that reason.
I thought that dude was cool. Is Raz, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So
What's up next?
So Marvel. We told you guys a few weeks ago that Marvel was going to be doing 2 miniseries with Jonathan Hickman in the X-Men universe. And at the time we said it was Powers of X and House of X. Well,
We were wrong.
we were wrong. It's supposed to be read as the Roman numeral, so it's Powers of 10 and House of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to go on is they're going to have those 2 miniseries running this summer as their summer X-Men event.
And it starts July 24th.
Starts July 24th, and then they are canceling the entire X-Men line and relaunching with a new main title, and they're going to have other titles starting to drop within the next 2 years. And Jonathan Hickman's kind of going to have like the Bendis role that Bendis had during the Avengers run. So that's interesting. Huh?
He's going to be more editor.
He's more going to be like the story consultant, you know what I'm saying? Like almost like an editor role, but you know, he has input in these creative teams. So it's almost like editor, head writer.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's really interesting to me because I've always loved Hickman's work, whether it's been on Avengers, his run on Fantastic Four is amazing. Yeah. Manhattan Projects, which if fucking Netflix doesn't grab that up, they're fucking stupid. But yeah, so we're gonna have a whole new lineup of X-Men titles, and they're actually it's gonna be like the first time since they got into that pissing contest with Fox that the X-Men are going to be like a real, you know, focus for Marvel.
And the way I'm understanding it is they're basically starting all over. They're gonna be scratch building it from the ground up, aren't they?
I think that they're going to continue some of the storylines, but if you saw the covers, like Professor X is Professor X again.
Okay.
So I don't know how they're going to get to that point because, spoiler alert, this happened about 6 months ago. Professor X talked Phantom X into giving him his body.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he was going around calling himself Charlie X, and he had erased the minds of the X-Men that knew. So they just knew, like, that, you know, the X-Men didn't know that happened. They just knew this new character is Charlie X. And so it's going to be fucking good, man. Hickman can do no wrong, really.
Yeah, in my opinion, that dude can do no wrong. He's perfect.
Yeah. And you would know this, Sam. I said Manhattan Projects. That was him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was saying that Netflix would be fucking stupid not to pick that up.
Yeah, they need to do that. They need to do East of West.
Yeah.
I don't know, but those 2 Manhattan Projects would be insane.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
And like, I think this is the right person to redo the X-Men.
I like him because everything is him and Scott Snyder are both really good at this. It's like there's no like some stories we read, and over time it kind of seems like they got to a point and they're like, okay, well, let's keep it going, and then they do something to keep it going. But with Hickman, that he has it figured out from A to Z, and like the payoffs in his books are so good.
Yeah.
Because like nothing feels out of place. Like he just tells like such a story, or such a well thought out story, to where it's like there's nothing that seems like an afterthought, or it's like he's got to like kind of make like a leap of imagination to like tie up loose ends. Like it's all so well thought out.
And see like Hickman probably has the best, like, probably since Walt Simonson. I think Hickman has the best run on Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
and that's almost what Jesus.
I mean, Mark Waid's run on Fantastic Four in the early 2000s was really solid too.
Yeah. Wade to me is really hit or miss. I like most of what Wade does, but like there were some things in his Fantastic Four run that were really kind of sketchy. Like Wade almost did like a fan letter to Kirby and Stan, which sounds okay in like theory, but like having like
You want something new? It's
yeah, and like having the thing, in heaven and the fucking Fantastic Four have to get him out of heaven because they need him and all that shit. That was kind of
Oh, you got some biblical shit involved.
yeah. and like Wade basically said that the whole reason he wrote that was so that he could make Kirby God.
Well, remember this in the Marvel universe, there is a realm. Heaven is a realm. So it's a realm. So it is like it's and that's how they wrote in what's her name, Angela.
Yep.
No, Angela went through with Thor and that shit.
Yeah, I know, but she was the realm she ends up. They wrote her in as his long lost sister.
Yeah.
Where she ended up at, where she was raised at and protected, was in like the realm of, it's like I don't even know if they call it heaven. I think it might be something else they call it. But it's basically the realm of angels.
Yeah.
That's,
they call it heaven, but they spell it Heaven.
That's it.
Kind of like how they do, like hell with HEL.
Yes. You got it. I knew it was something about it. I
yeah.
couldn't remember. But so it might not be a stretch if that's the heaven they went to, or another realm maybe to get, or was it like the celestial whole, the whole
yeah, it's really crazy.
Heaven.
And then like,
oh sorry,
go ahead, Sam.
It's like, depending on how long this run is, how many issues did they say between the two books?
It's supposed to be 6, right, Josh? 6 of
12
each.
12 issues, 6 of each, alternating each week.
Yeah.
All right.
First one comes out like either, I don't know if it's House or Powers, comes out on the 24th of July. Next one comes out the next week.
No,
then they alternate to the other one, so it's going to be a 12-week run, each book coming out every other week.
Are they going to be regular sized books, or are they going to be bigger?
Yeah, they're going to be full issue comics, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, well, X-Men is being rebooted. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Right. But it's like, I just hope that they give Hickman some freedom, because like another one of his strengths is like his world building ability.
Yeah.
So I hope they give him some room.
Yeah, I mean, he went from the Apocalypse Twins to fucking Infinity. Yeah.
Infinity was fucking awesome. I feel like people talk shit about that, but like I love that story.
Yeah.
Man.
And the way he fit the Illuminati into the Infinity shit was really good.
That was my favorite of all those books. I think that was the New Avengers title. Illuminati, like everything with the incursions and everything. Like, that shit was cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hickman on X-Men, you can't get.
You know what? I haven't actually bought an X-Men comic in forever.
Me neither.
I may have to actually buy these comics and check them out.
Man,
I'll tell you. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say the only thing worth reading from X-Men right now is Uncanny, because that Age of X shit started off hot and it's just been like.
It's been a slow fizzling turd.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna end
Uncanny by Rosenberg has been really good, and X-Force has also been really, really good.
Yeah, actually.
But they're ending that now, right? So they're gonna start over.
Yeah.
It appears to be.
Yeah, man.
But the way Rosenberg's steering this, it really looks like they're trying to go back to 90s style X-Men. Like late 80s, early 90s X-Men was the heyday.
That's
but like
it is, I feel like.
But like the thing about Uncanny is that like they've turned the Uncanny team almost into how Remender did X-Force.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because like Cyclops is the quote unquote leader until they have, and there's some shit that goes on around that where he might be the leader, not the leader. It's being run by community.
He steps down and they're running it by committee, and it's basically the team is composed of nothing but team leaders. Like you have Cyclops, you have Wolverine, Havoc, Magic, Chamber, Karma and Mirage from the New Mutants, Madrox, and Hope's there, and Banshee's there, and Juggernaut's again part of the team now too, which is
and that just
one of the only good things from Chuck Austin's run with Juggernaut reforming.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so the X-Men are in a really interesting place.
It's been a lot of fun reading.
Yeah. Do we want to hit the Microsoft Sony thing?
It's up to you guys. If you want to talk about it a little bit, it's up to y'all.
You all.
Rob?
It's a pretty quick thing we can hit. I mean,
it's nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah, but like I think you and Rob, I think you and Josh have a little more handle on this than we do. So if you want to take a lead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, basically, Microsoft has their Azure platform, which is their cloud, and Sony's finally realizing that they've got to play ball with this unified gaming platform in order to stay relevant.
I wouldn't word it that way.
In the current console market, they've got it, but in the future, everybody is starting to get to a point where this cross play is becoming a major thing. It's becoming a major selling point. I think Sony does not have the infrastructure experience to do that.
No, but they've got the tech to make it work better, and that's why they're exploring this venture. Like basically with the semiconductors and the AI and other things and their image sensors that Sony has developed working with Microsoft's Azure AI technology. They're just like, think of the possibilities that we can do. You might see an end to the console wars, more or less.
Right. Now the thing is, like, and coming from a tech background, this is where I'll say Sony does consumer level really well. So they do the hardware end on what you and I would see. Now, on the back end side of that, Microsoft understands mass infrastructure. They understand networking. They understand everything that works on the top end at the corporate level to make all this shit work. It's not even so much about the semiconductors and sensors and shit, because honestly, Sony is anything more than consumer grade. Sony's clueless.
Right.
Like they do great displays. They do great hardware on our side. They don't even do good computers.
No.
They've pretty much gotten out of the computer market altogether. The VIOS.
I've never even seen a Sony computer in my life.
They did the VIOS for a long time. VIOS are a thing of the past, but they do.
Are they though? Because like I see like a lot of the VIO all-in-ones around, and people seem to be.
If I remember right, they're either rebranded HPs or Acers. I don't remember. Sony doesn't even do them. The one thing they do, and this is where their gaming side and the cross-platform is really going to come in handy, is on a world market, they do phones that are extremely popular. The Ericsson line of cell phones outside of the United States are basically rivaling like anything short of Samsung.
Yeah.
You get out of the U.S. and Ericsson is exceeding Apple.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, Sony's got it for that. I mean, they're pretty good at some things. They're just not good at everything.
Right. And I think they're finally realizing if they're going to continue to be relevant, they're going to have to step up and play ball. And I think what really threw this and what really caught the attention was Nintendo doing it. When Nintendo said, yeah, we need to do this. Nintendo doesn't do shit for any, like, they are Nintendo. They're in their own little world. They always do their own thing.
Well, that's how PlayStation came about. Nintendo refused to work with Sony. Sony wanted to go disc-based.
Right.
And Nintendo wanted to go cartridge-based because, remember, they were partnered. They were going to actually produce the PlayStation was originally going to be the Nintendo PlayStation.
Right.
It was going to be manufactured by Sony as an add-on to the Super NES or the
64.
To the 64.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. And Nintendo wanted to keep the expensive cartridge-based and limited data, and Sony was like, you know what? Nah, we're just going to do this ourselves.
Yeah.
And that was basically, Nintendo's just like, all right, we play ball by ourselves, and
I
I think Sony adapted that mindset too. It's like, you know what? We're just going to do our own thing, and seeing the fact that now the three major companies are starting to like acknowledge each other and say, you know what? If we combined all of our resources, look at the potential.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
By
at
the
the
way,
end of
Rob,
the day, Go
I
ahead.
think Nintendo has gotten better over the years at trying to be more open minded about changing their way of thinking. But I will tell you, you're right about them as far as I think Nintendo has always been they've always been run by arrogant fucks who
Well,
think we're king shit, and they don't realize that they they kind of are, but they kind of aren't anymore. It's sort of like
well, it's not even that. It's because
you
they're
know.
still king shit. I mean, that
Well,
Switch
they are
especially has knocked it out of the fucking park.
true, but okay, they have their own market. They have
Exactly.
their own chunk of the
Nintendo.
market, but most adult gamers aren't playing Nintendo too often.
I don't know, man.
I
I don't
disagree.
know.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
For retro gaming, maybe not
No,
new.
No, absolutely
Dude,
not.
What
the
are
Switch
adult?
outsold the PlayStation in Japan by like 5-1.
What about worldwide?
Well, yeah, but the
What about worldwide?
the PlayStation 4, the PS4 is definitely the winner in that generation of
It's also
consoles.
been
They
out for a
outsold
while,
Microsoft
Yeah,
like crazy,
PS4's been out
and
for a
they
while,
and they killed the Wii.
Well, no,
Yeah.
they killed the Wii U. The
Sorry,
U
Wii U.
Now, here's the thing with Nintendo. Nintendo always, every couple of generations, they have a flop. The N64 was considered a flop.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like without a doubt, it was considered
The
a flop.
GameCube was amazing.
Yeah, the GameCube killed it. The Wii killed it.
The Wii went beyond, and then the Wii U was a big turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they come back with the Switch. That's the thing. Nintendo does innovate in their own way. They've got their
They
own
do, but
rules.
I'm just saying that I know they have a portion of the market, but they're not the kings anymore. They're not.
They're not the
think
kings
Well-
anymore, but the thing is, there's no king. There are three kings.
Well,
Each
Right.
one has their
Yeah,
own kingdom.
I'll go with
And
that.
there are a swath of gamers out there
well,
that aren't loyal to one specific console or the other. They own all
Right.
three and they play on all three.
Yeah,
But-
I think
And
that's
here's the
starting.
thing, like
Large crossover is bigger than you
Yeah.
think.
you got to remember, this is a world game you're playing too. And when you get outside, like when you look at the world market,
Right.
Sony,
That's-
like we're seeing it from a U.S. market. In the U.S. market,
Yeah.
it's this console generation was PlayStation. Last console generation was the 360. The 360 killed the PS3. Like it was sales for sales was wrecking the PS3.
And that was mainly due to Sony's, arrogance and saying, you know what, our
Well-
system is going to be $600, and that fucked them.
well, the thing that drove Microsoft over Sony in the 360 PS3 thing was the exclusives, because they had Halo, they had Fable, and
Right.
people don't talk about Fable, but Fable was a huge seller until
Big time.
they fucked it up.
Yeah, with Fable too.
No, Fable 2 was
No,
good.
Fable 2 was-
Yeah,
Fable
3
3
where it
is where
Fable
it
3.
fell off.
Which is like everybody
Well-
I talk to that loves the Fable series, a lot of them will tell you Fable 3, if they've gone back and played it again, turns out to be one of their favorite in the series, my wife included. But the thing that they've always done with Nintendo may not, they're always consistent with the exception of their occasional falters. Like the Wii U. They stumbled on the Wii U, now the Switch is coming back and it's killing, and it will consistently kill it.
Listen, Rob, I got to tell you something, though, man. I just looked it up because what you said didn't sound right to me. The 360 did not kill the PlayStation 3. You're out of your mind.
No, in the first 2 years it did.
Let
but
me
PS3
explain.
came
Hold
back
on.
hard.
Because the 360 came out a year before the PS3 did. Okay. So PS3 came out a year later, and still sold 1 million more worldwide consoles than and they came out a year later. So basically Microsoft had a year head start on them, and they still caught their asses and passed them. They ended up selling worldwide 77 million units. And the Microsoft sold 76 million of the 360. Now keep that in mind. They had a year head start, and they still.
Let's
and
also
another
look at this.
just real quick. Also, you have to figure that with the Red Ring issue, everything that they sent back as a refurb, they used as a sale.
For Xbox.
Yes.
Did they?
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot about that.
But the other thing you got to remember too is Microsoft doesn't sell in Asia.
Yeah.
They're there, but they don't sell.
Yeah, in Japan,
and that's because they suck. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm not going to bash it.
No, me either, because all three of them are great.
Yeah.
No,
they all have their great. They all have their strong points. They all have their weak points. I don't own an Xbox. That's the only reason why is because the exclusives, like you mentioned a few minutes ago, the exclusives you guys mentioned don't cater to me on Xbox. I'm not primarily a first-person shooter player, and the majority of the things I love to play are RPGs and action-adventure games, whereas Sony has always offered more in that department than Microsoft has, which is why I've always been more of a Sony guy. But the Switch, they offer great action-adventure games and RPGs as well. So, yeah, I've got a Switch now. And... dude, I play. When I do get to play, I play the shit out of them.
Anna, I am a nerd for you, and good night.
What?
She's in the chat. She said y'all are nerds, and she said good night, kiddos. I gotta get up early for the baby girl's graduation.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, Anna.
Everyone says good night, and Nick said he's hot for you, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Like everyone said good night, but Nick said it in a weird way.
Yeah.
Hey, it ain't weird. God damn it.
Sam said everyone said good night, but Nick said it in a weird way.
It's Brammert the pervert.
He just smiles, I'm sure.
Good night, sweetheart. Yeah, it's time to go.
Anyway,
it's
Nick trying to bang everybody's wives aside.
So
Microsoft, this whole thing with Microsoft and Sony is only going to be a positive benefit to the community.
Yeah,
I agree.
And especially since it looks like Nintendo's going to play ball too.
Yeah,
they already have been.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying is that it can only be positive for gamers.
Right. Yeah, like one of the games that I really enjoy playing is Rocket League. I have Rocket League on the PS4. All of my friends that own Rocket League own it on the Xbox or the PC.
My son,
and until they opened up cross-platform play on it, I couldn't play with any of my friends.
Right.
Yeah, that's Rocket League. Is insane, dude.
I'm looking forward to a world where all this shit is unified. And if I want to play Ghost Recon with my little brothers and they're on PS4 and I'm on Xbox, we can all play, or PC, because I'm a big PC guy now. And that's just out of convenience because the kids fucking kifed all the goddamn consoles.
I'm still going to cut Nick's dick off.
He's got to razor him off, dude.
I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to put it on a fucking keychain.
So this should be a good time to segue into our discussion for tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was trying to do a minute ago. I said, speaking of wives.
Speaking of wives. Seeing a lot of complaints lately in the community about how people have to sneak around and hide purchases behind their wives' backs, and mostly just complaints about wives and how they deal with the hobby. I'd like to hear you guys' perception and just go ahead and get into a discussion about it, because I mean, if you're married, your wife is supposed to be your partner, so I'd like to hear how you guys see things, and I'm going to be right back so you guys carry the discussion.
Why don't we go one by one on this shit real quick? We'll just buzz down the line.
Yeah, start with Josh and head down, and I'll be right back.
All right. You go, Josh.
Well, I mean, usually when I make a purchase, Misty's with me. Like if I make a purchase in a store for anything, she's with me. She's aware of the cost. And then once I started getting a third party and masterpiece, I've always told her, I was like, hey, I kind of want this. What do you think? She's like, you know what? Whatever makes you happy. She knows that I find joy in collecting. She knows that if I really want it, then I budget a certain amount a month for myself, and I stay within that budget.
Yeah, dude, I've heard you talk about that, man. That seems like you're pretty rock solid on that too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the only time I ever had like a one rough hit is the last week of January, and I had 5 pre-orders hit in 1 week. That kind of sucked, but I was fortunate enough to actually sell some things during that same week to make up for the difference.
Yeah.
But she's not like what you would call 100% happy with the purchases I've made, mainly because of space issues.
Yeah.
But she's also aware of how important it is to me, not so much for the collecting aspect, but because of where it led me to finding the ROC.
The community.
Yeah, then in the community that's led to, and now that she's actually participated in a couple of meetups and gatherings, she is even more excited about it. Like we were talking before the show tonight. She's like, 3 more weeks, right? And I was like, yeah, 3 more weeks till our next meetup that we're going to be, that we're not going to mention on air where it is, but some of you that are going to be attending the same event, I'll see you in 3 weeks, and I can't wait. But she's been pretty supportive. There's been a couple of times in the past couple of years where she's gotten a little like, Jesus Christ, you keep getting these packages. You keep getting
Yeah.
and she's like, what are you planning on doing with all this? And now that I got inspired to start building dioramas and other things. And she's actually gotten into that. Like,
Nice.
That's cool, man.
When she saw that I created that sewer layer, she's like, both of us, out of all my shelves that I have, even though that shelf has the fewest amount of figures, that's my favorite shelf in the house.
Yeah, because it displays the best.
Because it's just an awesome display.
Mhm.
And I've been working for the past several weeks on this massive Gundam diorama that I'm finally going to be able to finish tomorrow. Finally.
And then you're gonna let me move into it.
Yeah, it's inside.
You're gonna be one of the mechanics, man.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a cover
but,
up.
but we discovered this channel back in January on YouTube. It's called Black Magic Craft. It's this dude named Jeremy from Canada. He builds. He makes a lot of things like for Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop games. He makes a lot of things out of primarily foam, similar to what Pinkerton does. And I don't have an X-Carve, but I have gotten some of the tools that this guy uses to make the work on the foam easier. And I started making things, and now she's gotten to where she wants to start making things too. So as a result, this stuff has grown, and while she's not entirely thrilled with some of my bigger purchases from time to time, as long as I maintain and don't go overboard, she's fine. But now she's gotten to the point where she wants to build something with me. And actually, after I finish up this Gundam diorama this weekend, next week we're actually going to start a project together.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really excited about that. So it's been a way for us to come together and find something that we enjoy and something we can do together.
I just want to piggyback on what you're saying. My wife, obviously, she's not a big toy person, but she does like to paint. So we've converted our Florida room into like our project room. So like while I'm sitting there customizing figures, my wife can go ahead and sling paint and shit like that, and she's really loving doing like abstract shit. And give my wife a follow if you guys can on fucking Instagram. She posts her fucking shit up on there. And it's mostly abstracts, some landscapes and stuff, but it's something she really enjoys. And then at the same time, we're working in somewhat the same medium because I'm painting, she's painting. So it's a good time for us to bond. especially
And it's like doing different activities, but like just in the same space.
it's Sam, you're a teacher, so you know this term. It's parallel play.
Yeah, dude, I do that, I see that with my kids all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's exactly, and that was like on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't spit it out. But yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to jet real quick, but basically, I kind of want to steer this towards like, you know, like I said earlier, your wife is your partner. So like, if you're hiding something from her, you know, like whether it's how much money you spend, or like if you're trying to hide being a toy fan behind her back, I mean,
it ain't ever gonna work.
It's not gonna work. And like when you're looking for a partner, you should look for somebody that's gonna accept you for you and accept everything that comes with you.
When did you guys like in the span of your relationship? Like when did you like? I guess like introduce that you were like into all this nerdy stuff, man.
Oh,
Right at the
my-
beginning.
My wife knew I wasn't ever in
Dude,
weird
me
shit
too.
right off the
Me
bat.
too.
Our first date.
At the time, I wasn't collecting really when me and Jackie met, just because like I was like worried about school and shit. But like I had like a few figures like in my apartment at the time, and like I like was open about like I was like into comic books and stuff. But like
Me,
like I didn't have like the collection that I have now. You know what I mean? I just had
Yeah.
like some kind of like random shit that I picked up here and there. So
well, let me.
My first date with my wife was literally us going to a haunted house, and I was dressed as the Crow.
Sweet.
Nice.
Just for me and my wife kind of had like a what you would consider like in the movies like a whirlwind romance. Like I moved in with my wife like 2 weeks after we started dating.
because you started dating her twin sister first, right?
Yeah, that was it. That's a story y'all will never know. So thanks, Sam, for teasing you.
What about Rob's twin sister?
Rob's twin sister. Hey,
now.
she's only in North Carolina.
Dude, Rob
Woo!
told me, man, I
Dude,
thought
she
we were
would
talking
break
about
you in
this.
half.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I saw she's in the military. She might be able to give me some discipline.
Oh my fucking God.
But you're out of
Dude,
pocket.
she has
by
240-pound German shepherds. She'll just go sick them.
When Nick refers to discipline, he's talking about the little 7-inch butt plug that he keeps on his desk off camera.
Hey.
He calls it discipline.
Hey, it may only be 7
Yeah,
inches.
she's got one called Major Pain. Just use your imagination.
Hey, it may only be 7 inches, but it's about as round as a Coke can. You fuck.
Anyway,
But yeah, like I'm saying, like I can't see how like people would let collecting come in between their relationship with their spouse.
Yeah.
Because like you've gotta when you get married, I mean, it's a melding of two people. And my wife doesn't collect that much, but she accepts it. And me being a stay-at-home dad, she finances it too. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tricky dynamic, man. That's different, you know, because it's like me and Jack, we both make about the same money, but it's like, so we don't have like our money put together, right? You know what I mean? Like we have like, okay, you get these bills, I get these ones, and like my toy fund like is my toy fund, and it's like it always kind of comes through the same thing, like. So like, I'm just curious, like with that dynamic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Like for us, I actually make a little more than Tiff does, and then just with ours, everything is pooled because we've got 3 kids, we've got all that. So
and like we need to do that. We just
we pool everything, and then we do all of our household budget, and then we do all the stuff we're doing for the kids, all the stuff we need for whatever we're doing. And then I just tell her, all right, look, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at.
Yep.
And then she does the same. Because, like with my wife and I mean, we're talking almost 20 years here we've been together. But
yeah,
she was big into video games, like especially retro shit. And I always was too. So that's when we started out together. That's what we did together. Was we used to hunt retro video games, and we still do it. So and as long as we've been together, I've always done something on my own, be it cars, motorcycles, nerdy shit, whatever the case is. And honestly, this is probably the cheapest hobby I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like into cars and shit too.
Big time. Like major expensive ass shit, from drag cars to the super sport cars to super fast bikes, and doing racing, like pro level racing and shit. So I mean, she's watched me blow $100 grand on shit.
Wow.
I mean, you run a race program and you can watch the dollars fly out of an account.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's stupid. I mean, and you get some of it back with sponsorships and shit, but it's an obscene. Dude, I got $100 grand in tools sitting in my garage right now.
Yeah.
It's
Handy.
stupid. But getting into this stuff, it's like she always knew. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna collect something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some hobby, dude.
And
Right?
Yeah.
a lot of this came about because we always did the video game stuff throughout all this, and then we were watching movies. I was still kind of reading comics off and on, not really consistently, and I was always into it. Just I was so focused on the other stuff. Now I was looking for a way. Like, I struggled for a while to bond with Ian, because
Mhm.
he's not into any of the cars, but he has no interest in that shit at all.
Mhm.
But one thing we had always sort of figured out we had in common was the nerdy shit. Like, he's into the gaming and he's into that, which is why he always bonded with Tiff so much better. So she told me one day, she goes, "Why don't you introduce him to Transformers?" Because she knew I was always big into Transformers. 'Cause
Right.
I always kind of worked some of that shit into my other stuff. Well, I did, and he fell for it. And it was just a fucking floodgates opening, dude. I sold the cars I had left. I sold the bikes. I sold it all.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wow.
Kept the tools because I still work on shit.
Yeah.
But
And sometimes you might need to, tear something down and repair it and build it back
Well, not
up.
Yeah.
well, not,
So
well,
it's good to
not
have
only
that
that,
on
but
hand.
when that
yeah, dude, I fix our cars myself. I don't take them to shops unless it's something I just don't want to do.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Like,
with mechanics and truck drivers, when that Mac man calls,
I ain't gotta pay that bill, man. Fucking Sutton pays that bill.
Oh, okay. See, that was that. I come from a family of mechanics, and so I know when that Mac man is there, that's a big splurge.
Oh, dude, every time, I'm a Matco guy, and I spent obscene money in that Matco truck. He don't come no more, so we're good. I got everything I need.
And for some other people with tools, it's like the Snap-on guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those guys, they'll get you, man. And then you don't tell your wife, and you're in a little deep shit.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I remember some of the bills. We had, when I had my shop, the Matco guy rolled in, and by the time we were said and done, my wife looked at the bill and went, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It was a 5-digit bill.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I just know from experience. My dad's Snap-on box was at least 15 grand.
Yeah, the Snap-on box I used to have, by the time I had the bottom box, the top box, the 2 side cabinets, and the add-on kit was 37 grand.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's the one I don't have. I don't have that box anymore. I got a Matco one now that's smaller. But man, I tell you what, she has been a trooper throughout all this shit. I mean, now with the tools and the cars and stuff, that kind of was my business for a long time. But when I got into collecting the toys, she saw that bond with Ian, because him and I do that shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Anything we look for, everything we order, we talk about it all. We go, every figure on this shelf, him and I have been connected to each other during the process. And he's got his own. You guys have seen the pictures of his room.
Yeah.
It's more insane than mine. Although it did end in us having to buy a bigger place, and there's a whole nother bill coming with that, and more bills coming with it. It's costing, my collection's gonna cost me 250 grand by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, I hear that.
You can take it with you, man.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much.
kind of piggybacking off what you're talking about, bonding with your kid. I've tried to get Cal into Transformers and stuff, and he likes them okay and stuff. But what he's really getting into is, as I've been customizing figures, that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
That's
he
awesome.
he wants to be able to put his own mark on something, and it's so hard because when I'm customizing a figure, I don't want anybody around me. You know what I mean? Unless it's my wife, who's able to sit there and be quiet. you know.
Yeah,
but like Cal wants to start customizing figures, and I just bought the Leonardo and Shredder 2-pack from NECA, and so he saw what I did with my turtles, and he wants to do the same thing. So that's something I can actually do with him, and so that's a good bonding point. And again, like I said, my wife finances, because I don't work, my wife finances my toy hobby. So, like, I can't go behind her back, you know, and I would feel wrong going behind her back and buying something. So it is a compromise of what bills need to be paid, what else needs to be done. If there's something, you know, if there's something else that takes priority over it, I have to subsume my collecting for that, and I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem
same
with
here.
that.
I mean, I'm looking at right now.
choice, you know. It's like you just do what you got to do.
Well, I'm looking at actually that exact thing right now. So with some of the stuff we have to do here, and some of the stuff we got to buy for the place, I'm actually putting all of the purchasing for myself on hold until we get some of this stuff done.
Yeah.
But you're talking like with the bonding, with getting into the customizing and shit with Cal.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually started to want to get into doing the dioramas, and my wife has been watching some of this shit. And she's really crafty and does some crazy shit like that anyway. And my middle daughter, Sabriel, is awesome with artistic shit. She really wants, like, they're all getting into wanting to do this with me.
Yeah.
And the Gundams, I got into building Gundams again, and my whole family builds them. Like, all the kids
that's dope.
are deep into them. They love them. So
Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah, we'll all sit around the kitchen table building kits, and it's one of the few times, like, my son, being my oldest, and my littlest daughter being 6, you know, they kind of butt heads a lot because she's real hyper, and she's 6.
Yeah.
15. So watching the two of them, that's the one time you will see those two sit down and focus together, and just like perfectly in sync is when they're building Gundam.
I kind of had a moment like that just yesterday with my son. Like, after I opened up, he likes the turtles.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I opened that 2-pack, like, I had only bought it so that I could steal some pieces off the shredder for a custom.
Oh.
And so like my plan was, you know, I'll give him the stripped down shredder and the Leonardo. And then, like, it was so cute. He just came in and he said, "Daddy, will you play turtles with me?" And yeah, I love shit like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I've sat there on the floor with like all the Autobot and Decepticon city bots spread out, and Ian will bring his stuff down, and I'd have my stuff. Like, we had full war scenes and shit going on.
Yeah.
At our old place, the entire floor in the family room was just covered in toys. I'd sit there on the floor with him for hours.
Because I'll say, like we talked about money, and it's like I try to, like, have, like, the toy fund, and it's like, obviously, like, I mean, I think for all of us, it probably goes without saying, it's like bills and, like, real life stuff comes first.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Dude, first thing when I get paid, I pay the monthly bills out of my check.
Yeah, me too. Because I'll forget. But it's like I had a dude, like, I put something out, and I think it was like in the Ageless Geeks Facebook group. I was looking for a figure, and he wanted he was local, and I was like, all right, dude, cool, I can meet you up. And, like, he was asking 45 for it, but I was going to the ATM, and, like, I could only get 20, right? So I'm like, could you do 40? And he was like, man, I'm really trying to get 45. I gotta buy groceries. And I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
But like with Jackie's, it would obviously be a problem if I was like, hey, I can't pay rent, but I got all these toys coming in. But it's like, I try to just sell stuff.
Yo, Russ, is your fan running?
Yeah, someone's driving with the top down.
No, I don't think so. Let me see. Shouldn't be.
There, you just fixed
when
it.
When you lifted it, it stopped.
Yeah.
Did it? Is it running? Do you hear it now?
No, it's good now.
Maybe it did turn on for a second. I've got my cooling fan underneath of it, so I don't know why.
I kind of want to get in. I kind of want to get into a little sidebar here because Z-Rock Prime in the chat made a comment. He says, one of my issues is I make bad purchasing decisions when I'm sick or hurting. I bought all the Planet X Dinobots when I got hurt at work and was in agonizing pain for a week.
Yeah.
Now there's some real shit to that, man.
Yeah, like
It's weird, dude.
I-
Me
I-
too.
I
God.
bought
Like-
my last Hayabusa while I was recovering, like I said in the chat, like I was
Yeah.
recovering from the crash from the bike that I
I think it's like
totaled out.
it's a comfort thing, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like retail therapy is real, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
And
like,
it's
I,
like
I go
oh,
ahead.
go
Sam.
ahead. Nick.
Oh,
No, you
oh,
go ahead.
what I was gonna say is like, I have a lot of chronic injuries. I have chronic knee pain. I've got this issue with my neck and shoulder going on right now. But the main thing is depression.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Depre-
depression will fuck you up, dude.
Depression and anxiety and that, and something in like retail therapy is a real thing, man. Because I know like there's certain times where I get into stages where like no matter how loving my partner is, how much love I have for my son, that just like buying something, has
Yeah.
it makes you feel better. That shiny new thing, and-
I
go ahead,
you're
Rob.
Like you're getting really quiet for some reason. Something's washing you
Yeah,
out.
there's like a
How about now?
Russ is
top down.
That's better.
Russ, pick your laptop up again.
Been making noise again?
There
Now
you
it's
go.
done.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
stops every time you do that.
That's fucking weird.
That is bizarre, man.
It is bizarre. I'm getting rid of this
In-
piece of shit pretty soon.
In Z-Rock.
Yeah, we've heard that 3 weeks in a row.
Now
Well,
Z-
dude,
How about hey, Nick, to piggyback on what you said, I was going through major depression with my old employer. They fucking wrecked me, and I may have bought the entire line of Combiner Worse.
yeah. And like Z-Rock,
Purchases are real.
and again, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying Z-Rock says my health has been shit for a few years, so a string of purchasing splurges. I've made changes that have helped. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like you have to recognize when you're using purchases to be like a salve on whatever, whether it's chronic pain, depression,
Salve on
anxiety,
the stump.
it's like,
Salve on the stump.
and it's a normal thing. You have to be okay with it, but you also just have to involve your partner and just keep that. It's just like any relationship. You have to keep that line of communication open.
communicate, man.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna go off on another little tangent here, but my best friend from the time I was 18 until now, he went through a divorce, and like he kept it quiet and everything, but like a lot of what it was just like, he couldn't share everything with his partner. You know what I mean? And so, that's the thing. Buy what the fuck you're gonna buy, but make sure that you're communicating. Because also when you're going through this, if you're using buying toys as retail therapy, you need to be able to talk to your partner and tell her, hey, this is what I'm going through. Because if you don't, you're gonna have more problems down the road in the future.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of stuff. Like there is some times where like I'll buy stuff for that reason. It's like, I mean, all of this shit, it really, it's just a distraction. You know what I mean? It's a way to, because like, I mean, real life and all the stresses you have to deal with, like as an adult, like for me, it's
Real
like
life sucks.
job. Yeah. And like being a parent, like it's fucking hard. So like you got to distract yourself to keep yourself sane. Like there's a lot of stuff I buy that I'm like, I know I'm going to sell this in a week. But
Hell, some shit you turn around and sell the next day.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. Like it's like this show's a part of it too. I'm like, I want something to have on the table during the show Friday night. But it's like to me, it's like I'm not gonna buy something that I know I can't flip if need be, because I can't tell you the binds I've been in where I'm like, shit, we need this money. Let me post some shit for sale. And I think that helps my wife with some of the purchases, because like she's seen it where like we've been in a bind here and there for like whether it's like medical bills or like something comes up that's like a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Not like pay rent or like to pay the light bill. Like I got that money sorted out. But if it's,
Yeah.
like,
Those
emergency
unexpected
shit,
expenses.
yeah, and like I'm like, okay, we need $600. Let me post some shit. And like that's where she's like, okay, cool. Like I see a value.
That's
So
what I used to
sudden
do, too.
amputations.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit, right?
And like I'm not talking out of pocket here, because he's talked about it himself. Dust, he's done that thing, and he coined the term "sell to survive."
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's like all the little shit. Like it's a coping thing, right? Not to say like us as men can't like deal with the realities of life, but it's like like this hobby's a distraction. I mean, like I'm fucking sitting here drinking beers. That's a distraction. Or it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not like,
to
I don't know.
piggyback on that, my wife has always said the same thing. She goes, you could do what most of the guys up here do, and their distraction
bar.
is every night they're in the bar spending
Mhm.
tons
Yeah.
of money, and I don't. This is, and I haven't had to, but it's like if I had to go and sell everything I have right now, I would. And my wife has watched me do it with cars and bikes. And
Yeah.
shit
Yeah,
like that.
and like for me, it's like it's an easy choice, and it sucks when you see, um, like someone who's like out clearly struggling, but then like they got like all these toys,
Yeah.
because it's like that to me, it's an easy choice. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this shit because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, it's a
Yeah, I mean, you have to be secure. You have to be secure in your relationship. You have to be able to prioritize what you're spending.
Dude, my wife
You
watched
know,
me
when I wanted
sell my dream car. I
Yeah.
worked my ass off
Yeah.
for this, and we had a bunch of shit come up, and I had to make a big chunk of money really fast.
and it's
Yeah.
like you got
I didn't even think about it. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it. That fucker was sold in a week.
I did the same thing, Rob. I sold my Prelude years ago, a long time ago. It was off, and I had put a lot of money into it, and I
Yeah.
sold it because I needed literally I needed some money. We were fucking dead broke because
Yeah.
a big bill came up,
Been
and
Yeah.
so I had to literally unload my car. I was upset about it, but at the same time, you're kind of like, it was between a roof over your head and a fucing car. Later,
Yeah.
Yeah.
car goes,
And-
so.
And I mean, like, I sold my whole Combiner War series just so I could take Anna out. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Now we know why she likes that
Taking-
Nick so much.
Yeah.
Taking your penis and your balls is all coming. Chop, chop, fucking silly.
We can hear him sharpening that fucking katana
Damn,
from here.
God damn
Yeah.
right.
It's that little
Get
small
my fucking whetstone out.
No,
Yeah,
I think what's gonna happen is Russ is gonna sell all his collection to buy a tank.
Yeah. And he's gonna roll all the way down 95 in the A1A just to
I'll be like,
fucking shoot my rental.
Videos and shit.
He's gonna go 35 the whole way.
Hey, you know what? You don't have to worry about traffic jams.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
well,
just
like,
fucking roll right over him, Russ.
like with all this shit, like with my wife, like she's not into any of it, like whatsoever. You know what I mean? But like she, I think for her, it's like she just sees it. It's something that I enjoy, and like, so she doesn't fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's never giving me a hard time about it, or, and I think she sees too, like with like the boys are into it. But then it's like I don't like force shit down their throat, but like this shit's just around. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, they see the toys, like they see like the comic books and stuff, and like they're into it. And like that to me is like my favorite part.
And
I'm not brainwashing them.
yeah, exactly what you're saying, Sam. Like, I'm more into Transformers than my son is, so it's kind of like trying to find a middle ground, like what he's interested in, so that I'm not buying him shit that's just gonna sit there that he doesn't want. You know what I mean? Because I may like something a lot more than he does, and so like it's a happy medium, because it's like, I don't know about you guys, but like I only had like certain key pieces when I was a kid, and like I kind of want my son to have those same things, but he may not be as interested as I am in those pieces.
Yeah, and that's so like me and my dad, like we had a really good relationship, but like all this nerd stuff, like he didn't understand it and like wasn't into it, so like we couldn't connect on that, because like he always would like just give me a hard time, like you're always like playing with those toys and shit, like he didn't understand it, but so I feel like with my kids, like we can relate on that level. Like I don't see this stuff as being as trivial, because like it does have meaning, you know what I mean? And it's like I've seen like with my kids, like something that's important to me is like fostering and then like just growing their imaginations.
Yeah.
And like this is how that happens, like through fiction, because they're like I've taught like in the times I've been in college for teaching and been teaching, I've worked with kids from 6 years old to like 15 years old, I've seen plenty of kids like from like second grade who like you could tell like just watch them and like their imagination's already snuffed out.
Yeah.
Because, like, they think that it's stupid or like they're just like 100% into sports and or not. I'm not saying sports are bad. Like I did both when I was a kid, but it's like this like Star Wars like built my imagination, and that's helped me in every part of my life since then. Having an imagination, you know, like helps you any career that you could be in, and so like there is a value to this stuff, you know.
And like something I went through, like because I didn't understand, and like it's really helped me, is like your kid's not gonna be excited about the exact same thing you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to find that balance, and then you've got to find that thing that your kid is into, so that you can bond over that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're gonna have to subsume, you know, like what you're into what they're into. Go ahead.
That's something that I've really been lucky about. Madison, she loves painting. She's gotten into miniature painting. She loves painting the stuff. So once a month, we go to our comic shop when they have painting classes, and she loves it. It's one of her favorite things to do. And turns out she's also a huge fan of Voltron, so there's a fiction that we can actually share a love over. Oh, no. But she hates admitting it. She's gotten to that age where she hates admitting it, because we used to do stuff together a lot when she was younger, and now, you know, she just turned 12, you know, and she's gotten to the point where, oh, parents, it's not cool to enjoy the same things as your parents. And I'm like, you know what? It is okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to expose her more of that. So,
like that.
But
sorry, go ahead, Josh.
I was just saying, but I'm fortunate enough to, fortunately, you know, we do get to do that together. So,
yeah, it's like it's so hard to find that happy medium with your child, like of what their interests are and what they're at, because children always want to please their parents, no matter what. So it's like sometimes your kid will tell you, "Oh, I like this," but what they really enjoy is the time they spend with you while doing a certain activity or whatever. And like I went through that with my kid with, like, you know, like kung fu movies, because I figured, you know, that would be something we could bond over, like old Shaw's Brothers shit. And he's not really into that, but he would sit there and he would watch it with me because he had that bonding time with me as a parent.
Right. That's how me and my son were with Power Rangers. he liked Power Rangers, so I would, you know, and I liked it too, but I didn't like it as much as he did. But we would sit down and watch the show back in the day, and he and then he would Transformers was the same thing when he was little. Like his G1 unfortunately was, you know, Unicron trilogy and stuff. Yeah. I mean, but that was, you know, when he was of age to know.
That's what got him into it, man.
Got him into it, right? And
all good.
Yeah, and I couldn't stand that. So it was painful for me, but I went through it. You know, I just smile, and I put a smile on my face and go, "Oh, it's really cool, yeah." And I bought him all the toys and shit, you know, just because I wanted them. You know, even though
that's the thing. That's the thing, because like I figure I'm like a big kid. You know what I mean? And I get really enthusiastic into what I get into, and so like trying to find something. And again, like I said, kids always want to please their parents. So like being able to, and then as they get older, they'll phase out of it. Excuse me. Like what was cool when like the kid was 5 and you were, you know, exposing him to that, they get out of it, you know, and as they mature, like you see them get their own personality and their own preferences, and being able like to maybe like put your own shit on the back burner for the kid, you know, it's a skill that you need. It's a skill that you need to, you know, refine, and it's the same thing. It's the same.
Paramount as being a parent too.
Yeah, And it's the same thing with your wife. Like, to bring it back to the wife discussion, you know,
Yeah.
you have like when I met my wife, we've been together since 2001. My wife hadn't seen The Godfather. My wife hadn't, you know, and there's so many movies that she hadn't seen. And like, I was like, you need to see this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? You know? And so like, some of the things she's enjoyed, but other things just haven't been her thing. And so like, finding that happy medium of exposing your loved ones to what you love and actually having them enjoy it. You know what I mean? That's a huge thing, and the only way that you can learn that is by being together for a long time and actually, you know, listening to your partner, maturing, and actually realizing what's going on.
Yeah, Nick, there's that like maturing together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like my wife, and it's like I know it too. Like there's some shit that I'm gonna do there that's like it's just a me activity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like we're way past the point of her like getting upset or like me getting upset if she wants to go do something by her own or like with her friends or whatever. It's like,
Well, that's something that my wife and I have always had, is the ability to separate each other from each other.
Autonomy,
both
yeah.
have, she can go do the things she enjoys, I can do the things I enjoy, and we can have those separate interests and nobody cares.
dude, but that comes from a place of trust and security.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, even shit, dude. I'll say it. Like my brother and his wife, like I feel like she. And I don't think he watches the show. She's the type that gets like, I want to say threatened when he has any type of fun without her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like for me, with Jackie, it's like if she goes out with her friends or her sister or whoever, and she's having fun, then I'm happy for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about her fucking cheating on me. Like we've been through too much shit, and that's like, so like there is that security, and like just the amount of shit that we've been through, with raising these kids, and like all the shit with Sonny. It's like whenever we do get into it, or like when we do have a big blowout fight, which we have, like
everybody does.
Yeah. And it's like it might be bad, but like it in like my heart of hearts, I know that like it's gonna be okay.
How many do you have?
It was like everything will be cool just because it always has been. It's like
okay,
been through all this.
Like,
go ahead, Rob.
No, I was gonna say that's like Tiff. Every once in a while, she needs to just disconnect from everything up here, because being the primary career, I mean, with all the hours I work, she ends up basically single parenting for the most part.
Yeah.
So she needs that disconnect every once in a while, and her biggest disconnect is she'll take her laptop and then she goes down to her best friend's house, and those two girls are addicted to World of Warcraft. They will sit at Tony's place and they will play World of Warcraft, and then like Saturday night they'll go out, and Tony's not like, she's not a drunk, but she's a bit of a bar hopper. She likes to go to the bar, have a few drinks, dance, shit like that. And they'll do that. They'll go out and stop at the bar, or maybe one or two of them. Tiff doesn't really drink, except, you know, she'll have some wine at home. So she's the designated driver. They do their thing. I don't care. Like, they can stay out at the bar till close time. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I might not even hear from her all weekend, aside from a quick text, hey, the kid's okay. You know, everything's cool down here. I'm fine. And then she, you know, I won't call her. I won't bother her.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that I need an answer to for the kids.
Right.
Yeah, and that's like your guys' dynamic, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
and
everybody.
And the thing that people don't understand is that comes with time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not something that's going to happen over the first month.
Right.
Right.
And
the other thing. Oh, go ahead.
And I just want to say, like, another thing is, if you have mental health issues, like, a lot of times that manifests onto insecurity in your relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it's so weird. My wife is a saint. Like, first of all, she's the one that works, okay? And she's put in so much time, you know, on her own to do her job and provide for us. So, but, like, at the same time, like, I might have an issue where like my mental illness, depression, anxiety, post traumatic stress, where I project that onto her, and like you have to communicate about it. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
communication, if you stop communicating with your spouse, that's when it's over.
Exactly.
And
Don't get $180 transformer, and they say, how much was that? Don't tell them $40.
Yeah.
No, they're not that stupid. Don't think they are.
Well,
I don't know.
some
There's a
some
lot
of them
people that try
are.
to do that. They
Some
try
of
to
them
pull that
are,
off.
and you can run that game as much as you can, but at the same time, that just speaks to your relationship.
Yeah,
And
but
it
then
also means as soon as they pull up Google and go, wait a minute, there's like $5 grand
like,
sitting
you-
here, and you
you
said it
could-
was like $400.
you could do that and they could believe you and they could never touch you. But like if you like, you got to look at yourself in the mirror
And-
and be comfortable with yourself. And like if I was lying to my wife about some shit like that, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Like,
And then
No, I will say my wife and I joke about that shit from time to time.
Yeah.
Like, she'll, okay, how much is that one? It's only $20. And she'll
yeah,
like,
yeah, no, we
Yeah.
we'll go with
Dude,
that.
but
I could,
I had in a trade. I
could
traded
never
some
pull
money
that off.
for it.
go ahead, Russ.
I could never pull that off.
Yeah.
Anna would laugh at me and go, "Are you fucking think I'm fucking
But-
stupid? I
but-
know how much this shit costs because she collects."
Yeah, that's the thing, Russ, is like Anna collects, so like she has that on you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she knows
So-
everything I buy.
Yeah.
She knows about it because one, I agree with you, Nick. I feel like if I can't be honest with her, what the fuck are we doing? You know, really.
Exactly.
So I always tell her if I'm getting some. Half the time, she knows about it. I'm having her like when it comes to Agabus, it's easier to just pay him through PayPal instead of running my credit card. So I'll have her use her PayPal account and pay him. She knows I'm getting that. It's not a big deal. With her is just that she with her Star Wars collection and stuff, she's really Anna's just a frugal purchaser. She likes to get really good deals.
Yeah.
And what she gets aggravated with me about is sometimes I'm impatient and I don't look for a deal. I'm
Yeah.
I pounce. And she's like, "Why don't you wait and see if you can find that shit for a little more cheap or something?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I want this
Yeah.
shit now.
I'm the same way. I'm impulsive. That's why Hannah.
I am
Yeah,
very
same
impulsive.
thing here.
And
That
it's
must be
you
a
know.
male thing.
Yeah, it drives her a little nuts.
And since you mentioned it, Agabus is a sponsor of the Roma Collectors, and he has flat rate shipping. So, what I want to basically just say is that it may sound like we're coming off kind of judgy, but I really don't think we are. Your relationship with your spouse is your relationship with your spouse,
Right.
and what works for you is gonna work for you.
Right.
So our opinions on this don't really matter when it comes to your relationship.
It's like our situations.
Yeah,
You know?
this is
true.
just
True.
our situations,
And
and
realistically, I think most of us have been in the same relationship for an extended period of time. So
yeah, I've been
Yeah,
with my
we
wife
have
since
that
2001. So
It's like we have that in common, but then it's like we're all of like different ages. We
Yep.
all like have different home lives, So it's like
Yeah.
we got a pretty wide or varied background. I think that's
Yeah.
a good
Extremely.
like
Yeah,
different
Russ has got-
experiences.
I think you got a kid that's already in college, don't you?
No, well, I've got a kid who should be in college, but he's late working.
that's all right. Next
And I've got
next
my daughter's starting school
Yeah, dude,
this fall.
Russ has
though.
been married
Don't-
about
don't-
as long as
hey,
I've been alive, man.
Russ, don't worry about it. Next time I talk to Anna, me and her will get together about RJ, so you don't have to worry about it.
You're kidding now, huh? Okay. I'm also did I tell you guys when I cut his penis and his balls off, I'm slicing pieces out of his ass too? Did I tell you that? It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna chop Nick up. It's gonna be wonderful.
Hey, I'm already bald. I might as well be Varys.
I will. One last thing about this. I will say this with Anna. Anna and I have been together since we were in high school. So, it's kind of strange for me. We've had our ups and downs and insanity, but one thing that I know I always was able to do with her was tell her the truth about my collecting habits. You know what I like to do. And I had a collection in the '90s, and I sold all my stuff off because I needed money. You know, and I had to get rid of all my shit. So I went through a lot of years where I didn't collect anything.
Yeah.
And when I got back into this in 2014, Anna was the one who was like very supportive.
Yeah.
But that was until I discovered third party. She was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah. Just to piggyback off that, like my wife sees like how happy I get when I get something, and so that makes her happy because I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Same with Tiff, too.
yeah, and so
it's been those times where like we said, like an emergency comes up where I'm like, all right, I'll tell Jackie, I'm like, all right, I can sell this, and this, and make this much money, and she's always like, not all the time, but like a lot of times she'll be like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, but like to me, like it's like the quote unquote man of the house. I'm like, no, dude, like, this is just like trivial shit. If it's this money sitting here, you know.
And what you're going to talks about, you know, like a whole different issue that we could spend another whole hour on, which is, you know, gender roles and how like, you know, it's so hard. Like personally for me, I don't know about any of you guys, but as a stay-at-home dad, like people that are even in my family fucking look down on me. And
dude, it's like I said, it's a different dynamic, and it's not a bad dynamic, it's just a different dynamic, dude. And it's like, Nick, I'm in the summertime, like that's what I do. Like I don't work in the summertime, like I just chill, and my wife goes to work. So it's like it is that like that type of flip. It's like I do have a hard time being at home just because I feel like I need to be doing something. So like I know, like I joke about it on here, but like I can't relax, dude. Like I'm fucking,
dude, I've seen my wife be a stay-home mom. Like she was a stay-home mom for years, and it is that stay-home parent life is fucking brutal.
It's not like you're just chilling.
Yeah, but you also have to think like being a stay-at-home mom is more societally acceptable than being a stay-at-home dad, because like I have people in my family like, and I loved my grandmother to death. I loved my Nana, but like she completely looked down on me because I was a stay-at-home dad and I didn't, you know, work while my wife was working. So like that is crushing when you have a relationship that really matters to you and that person doesn't understand the dynamic that you have with your spouse.
Or they're like not willing to try to understand. You know?
Right.
Well, but at the end of the day, and this is what because we had a lot of people that would shit on Tiff for being a stay-home mom. Oh, you know, he's out there working, you should be working too, and blah blah blah. And it's like, you know what? No. And that's when you got to step back and go, I don't care who you are. And actually, my great-grandmother was one that said this. She goes, you guys need to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, that's what I was
hell
gonna
with
say,
everybody else.
Because like only you and your wife know what's the best for your family. So it's like you make those decisions, and that's it.
Now, like my father-in-law may hate this, but I love the dude to death. His name's Mark, and like him and his wife told me and my wife something that really resonates with me, and something that I've started to use in my decisions, and it's that as you grow older, you have a list. And you have a list of people's opinions that matter and people's opinions that don't. And it's going to change from subject to subject. You know what I mean? So, like, Mark and Marilyn, that's my father-in-law and his wife, have hey, if they ever listen, it's a shout out. But they've always been a lot more supportive of me staying home than my wife's mother, who I don't fucking get along with at all, and fuck you, bitch. But like that's the thing, is that you have to have that communication with your spouse. And then if somebody doesn't doesn't understand, doesn't really approve of what you're doing, you need to be able to have that support at your house, in your home for your lifestyle in order to be able to succeed.
Right.
And
that's
so,
that's-
there. Sorry, Rob. Just real quick, what their idea of the list is that for every fucking decision you make, you have to have a list of whose opinion matters and who doesn't.
Yep.
And even though my father-in-law and his wife have been very supportive, sometimes they're not on the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's how we've always looked at it. As far as our list goes, the opinions that matter are only the opinions of those in my house.
Yeah.
My wife, myself, my wife, our children. Their opinions matter because they affect the lives
Bless
in
you,
this
Sam.
house. Anybody else's opinions, we may acknowledge them, but it doesn't mean we give two shits.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So they have no effect on us.
People give it without you asking for them, and sometimes like I've had people in my house be like, "Well, I'm just trying to help," but I'm like, "I didn't ask for help."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like I always look at them and say, "All right, are you paying my mortgage this month? Are you paying my light bill this month?"
And it's
Exactly.
it's like even when like when me and Jackie when we found out we were having Sonny, it's like you think your parents' opinions, like you want to hold them, like you want to value them or whatever, but like my mom and dad, like I've told you guys, like they're like super religious, right? So like they were like when we told them like that we were gonna have Sonny, like they were just like nothing but stressed out and like, oh well, you gotta get married like as soon as possible. We're like, no, like we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
And it's like at the time we had been together for like 6 years in a super stable relationship. We lived together the whole time. Like completely supported ourselves. Like it's not like I went to my mom and like, hey, we're having a baby. Can we have some money? Like, no, like, we were just like we're having a baby and we want you to be excited about it. And it sucks. It's like they weren't. But then it's like my brother, my other brother, who had like they'd been in a relationship. Like he'd known his wife, like they were together for like maybe 8 months, and like they were gonna get married. Then they got married, and like they got pregnant or whatever, and like everyone was happy for them. I was like, the only difference is like that they're married. You know what I mean? Like it just sucks, man.
You know what's really funny about that? Actually, that exact story. Tiff and I had been together for 4 years. We owned a house together. We had a stable relationship, and we were actually planning our wedding. And we got pregnant with Ian. And it was basically 6 months sooner than we planned, so it wasn't like we weren't planning on it already. But okay, cool, this kid's coming, and it was like, told my mom. I knew my mom's used to this shit because my sisters had kids in their teens, and like okay, cool. My dad, awesome. Even her mom, she called until I told her mom I wasn't worried about her mom. I was worried as hell about telling my now father-in-law. Like I was scared to death of this man, and I was expecting to get my head tore off by this dude. And we call and we tell him, and I heard him woot over the phone. Like the man was jumping. First thing he says is, "We're going baby shopping. I'm taking you guys to dinner. Let's go."
Dude, that's cool, man.
That's cool as fuck.
He has been he's seriously been between him and my grandmother before she passed had been our biggest champions. Like he's been in our
that's fucking corner. Cool. And it's like that for me. It's like all I can do is never make my kids feel that way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If my son, one of them comes to me and be like, "Hey, we got this girl pregnant," I'm gonna say, "Hell yeah, let's do what we got to do together as a family." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like my father-in-law said, he goes, you guys have a house together. He goes, you guys have been together for years. He goes, I've been waiting for this phone call for like 2 years. He goes, and he's
cool.
Yeah, and he is the only person in our whole family that threw a fucking bitch fit was her little sister. Went ape shit on her, like really upset my wife.
Yeah.
And I won't even go into her story, but she has no room to talk, and she has gotten mad at Tiff every time she's gotten pregnant.
You know what's funny about that? When me and Anna got married, like Anna had joined the Navy and she went to boot camp like right after we got married. But then she ended up getting they basically she got in some trouble there is what happened because Anna was
Oh no.
badass. Dude, Anna was like a little gangster out there, man. She was running like a whorehouse in the fucking boot camp.
Oh
She was
shit.
like, she had women like because she had a lot of the girls that were there paying her money to use the laundry room because she ran the laundry room. That was like one of her biggest times. So she was pouring out in the laundry room to make money. I'm like, what the
I'm
fuck,
hearing
dude?
it. I'm
It
hearing
was
it.
insane, dude. I was like,
You're
Anna,
just giving him spank material for later, dude.
I was,
Yeah, let's be honest here. I don't need spank material.
He-
my wife's libido fucking outspreads mine. So
I hear ya. She basically came back from boot camp with like fucking almost $2,000, dude.
Oh,
Money. I was
shit.
like, Jesus Christ, go ahead, girl, you badass. Wait, when she got back though, we were married, and then she got pregnant with RJ pretty fast. But when people do the math, sometimes like there people's like for a long time, people's reaction was they thought we got to get married because I knocked her up, right?
yeah,
But I always have to tell them, listen, I got married her and then knocked her up, dude. So like, take it easy. I did it right for a change.
Yeah.
Right. Because it was all the religious zealots that were getting on my ass. Like all my friends of mine, they were like, well, you're living in sin. So I married her, and then I got her pregnant. Well, did you marry her because she was pregnant? I'm like, no, motherfucker, I got her pregnant after I married her. Shit, what you want? You
yeah.
can't make nobody happy. So I decided, fuck it. I'm tired of making people happy. I
Yeah.
did what I want to do. I don't
He's
give a
like,
shit.
and ever since then, I've never made anyone happy in my life.
No way. You can't.
All
You
right.
can't, man.
We're coming up on almost 2.5 hours, so I just want to end on this.
This is a fun discussion though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, and I think it's important, and I think that
Yeah.
it may help some people in the realm that are looking at things, and if they listen to this discussion, they can see what a healthy relationship is and
Or
how.
dude,
Go ahead, Russ. Sam.
I was gonna say, even if like if no one else is like share the same experience, just get it out, man. Just talking about stuff helps,
And that's,
Com-
that actually,
Connect to.
one thing you can take away from this, and it doesn't matter what your relationship is, with your partner, communication.
Yep, absolutely.
Communicate to your
Communicate.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just want to end on this. I think basically before my wife, the most important woman in my life was my grandmother and my nana, and like it was very hard because my nana knew I wasn't working and she had those preconceived gender notions.
Yeah.
So it hurt a lot. But you take that from that person that's important to you, but at the same time, when you have a spouse or somebody that you're about to make your spouse, that's the person that needs to be in your corner.
Right.
Me and my wife have always said it's me and her against the world because her family.
Yeah,
you say that
buddy.
too? That's
Yep.
Yep.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn,
And
just to clarify, you don't mean chained up in a basement corner.
absolutely, but like the
Well,
thing.
if I'm
Well, I don't know
lucky,
what kind of
gosh.
kinky shit they're into, but if it makes
Hey.
you happy.
But
As long as it's voluntary.
but seriously, to end this discussion and go into the unbroadcasted, what I want to say is that you may have people that are very important in your life, and you do need to listen to them as you're coming up. But when you make the choice that someone is going to be your forever partner and going to be your spouse, you have to have that person in your corner. And if
And you have to be in theirs.
and you have to be in theirs.
Yep.
And if you don't do that, your relationship is going to fail. And the other thing is the communication has to be there. You have to be able to talk to your spouse. You need to be able to talk to your partner. You need to be able to communicate with that person because you're going to be with that person for the rest of your life. People are going to come and go, but your spouse is supposed to be there for you for the rest of your life.
Right.
And this has been Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater and Relationship Advice.
And
This has been Loveline with Dr. Drew.
yeah, dude, and I'm sure that I'm not speaking out of pocket, but the rest of us, we would love to do a fucking Dr. Drew episode.
Oh hell yeah!
So if anybody has
Yeah,
anything
that'd be
like this, whether it's related to fucking collecting or not, hit us up. You can hit me up at captaingeek@gmail.com, or you can hit us up in our own Facebook group. And if you have an issue with a relationship, you can be anonymous. Just go ahead and hit it up and say that you don't want your name printed or whatever. We will hit your fucking topic up, because I think that we provide something different, and I think that if you value our opinion, we'd be more than happy to have an entire episode related to what people are going through in their relationships and the advice that we would have. We have Josh, who's married. We have Rob, who's married. Russ is married. Sam is
We're not
married.
legally married, but
Close
you know.
enough.
Close enough. You're
You're missing
fucking.
a piece of
You're fucking common law. So,
Yeah, it's
so
not recognized though, but we do tell each other.
you
We
know
we
what
tell
the fuck
anybody.
I mean. You're just fucking
know.
undercutting me, you son of a bitch.
That's what I do.
But
what I do.
but anyways, I think that would be a really interesting episode. Z-Rock, anybody else who has issues that they would like addressed, hit me up. Again, it's Captain Geek with 3 E's at gmail.com. And dude, if you hit me up, I promise you we'll dedicate some time to you.
Here's the other unique side we've got is it's not just on the relationship side. All of us have struggled with different types of depression, different injuries, life-changing events, legs getting hacked off, all kinds
Yeah.
of. I think between the 5 of us, we've pretty much run the goddamn gamut.
With the amount of prescriptions on this group, we got you covered.
Yep.
All right. So on that point, I love to say our usual outgo. Peace, love, and hair grease. We love you guys. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for every week, sticking with us. We'd love to hear from you guys either through our Facebook group, the Rumble Collectors Facebook group, or again, my email is captaingeek with 3 E's at gmail. So if any of you have any issues that you'd like to see, and I will keep your shit private, I will. So please hit us up. We'll talk to you later. Love you guys.
Peace.
We're gonna hit the fucking credits, and again, peace, love, and hair grease. We love y'all. Take care.
Yeah,
Have a good night, everybody.
is posted.
Good night.
Right there.
Bye. All right, cool. Now you go ahead.